This video continues with Chapter 120 Zeno. Kahn and -039's father seems to be in trouble. Dragon Ball, the God of Destruction's sign-in system. Chapter 120 Zeno. Kahn and -039's father seems to be in trouble. Chapter 120 Zeno. Kahn's father doesn't seem to be doing well. It was caught in the auditorium. Seeing that Burdock's attack was received, Supreme Kai immediately became nervous. But when he glanced at Vados and the others out of the corner of his eye, he realized that they still looked calm. Bang. Suddenly, Zin felt a slap on the back of his head, and then the old Supreme Kai's angry voice came. I said that you, Supreme Kai, are really being treated like a dog. Please take a closer look. What? Zin took a closer look again, and saw that Jiren had a hideous expression and was gritting his teeth. Obviously, although he blocked Burdock's knockdown and hook, the terrifying power from Burdock's feet was still unbearable for Jiren. Jiren himself knew it very well, so he didn't choose to continue to hold on. Immediately, an inertial forward rush left the attack trajectory of Burdock's foot at lightning speed. Immediately afterwards, Jiren adjusted his posture quickly and chose to take the initiative to attack. Before Burdock could adjust, he kicked Burdock hard in the back. However, Jiren's kick went straight through Burdock's body. After image. As soon as this kick fell through the air, Jiren immediately had a dark feeling. As I said just now, your speed is too slow. Burdock's cold voice sounded and Burdock appeared above Jiren, kicking Jiren hard to the ground. Boom! The ground of the arena couldn't withstand such a powerful impact, and it shattered on the spot. When Jiren's body rebounded according to the inertia, Burdock grasped the palm of his hand, and a Kigum bullet quickly condensed and pressed directly on Jiren's chest. Boom. As the explosion sounded, Jiren let out a scream and was blown up on the spot. Wow! It's amazing. It's exciting. On the mini palace, Zeno clapped excitedly. After transforming into Super Saiyan 5, Mr. Burdock's strength has made a qualitative leap. Both in terms of speed and strength, he has completely surpassed player Jiren. Grand Priest did not forget to give Zeno an explanation. Jiren. Seeing Jiren being beaten up by Super 5 Burdock, Vermut's face was ashen, and he couldn't believe it was real. Even before Kahn made a move, Jiren was about to lose. The strength of the 7th universe completely exceeded his expectations. Vermut never imagined that besides Kahn, the 7th universe would have someone who could rival Jiren. Toppo, go help Jiren. Supreme Kai finally couldn't sit still. If Toppo and the others don't help, I'm afraid Jiren will be eliminated in the first 5 minutes of the Tournament of Power. I see. Toppo nodded solemnly. He naturally also saw that Jiren's current situation is not good. If he doesn't help, Jiren will undoubtedly lose. Immediately, Justice Flash. Dense dark yellow energy Kigum bullets enveloped Burdock like a barrage of bullets. Double Mega Cannon. United Justice Torrent. The rest of the Proud team members also showed their special abilities, all kinds of nirvana, as if they didn't want money, and slammed towards Burdock crazily. Although these attacks did not pose any threat to Burdock, they also attracted Burdock's attention, allowing Jiren to breathe a sigh of relief. Hey! Seeing this, Beerus became dissatisfied. He stood up directly and cursed. Clown, beat 1 out of 10. You people are too despicable. That's right. It's too shameless to even engage in sneak attacks. Zin followed suit with contempt. The contestants from the 11th universe came to cheat and attack my Burdock contestant from the 7th universe. Okay. This is not good. Vermut said, a game is a game. Who will play one-on-one with you? As long as you can win, even if you don't sacrifice all means, it's worth it, is not that right? Supreme Kai echoed. Also, when Grand Priest explained the rules just now, he didn't say that sneak attacks are not allowed or that more fights are not allowed. We are within the rules of the game, so why are we so shameless? Beerus was so angry that he gritted his teeth on the spot. If Zeno and Grand Priest were not watching, he would have rushed up and rubbed Vermut's annoying face on the ground, but soon Beerus calmed down again and said sarcastically, TCH, in the final analysis, you are still a bunch of guys who can't make a difference if you don't join forces. Master Beerus, you still overestimate them. Vados couldn't help but sneered. Even if they join forces, they won't be able to achieve success. 10 people together are just barely worthwhile and can only compete with Burdock. Sister Vados said, "Oh ho 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 ho." Wise also laughed outrageously. Overmut was very angry, but there was nothing he could do. Because now 10 players from the 11th universe are on the stage together and they can only deal with Burdock, and each of them is cautious. Their physiques couldn't be compared with Gyron's. Even if they were touched by Burdock, they would either die or be injured. It was only with Gyron's support that the stalemate was barely maintained. If Gyron hadn't been the main force responsible for containing Burdock, the 9 Topo would have continued to attack. Ask for flowers, their alliance may have fallen apart long ago. Han's dad doesn't seem to be doing well. Zeno also seemed to see Burdock's situation and said worriedly with a small face. Grand Priest also said, "It seems that Burdock still can't perfectly grasp this power. The power of the 5 forms of Super Saiyan is indeed extraordinary, but the disadvantage is that it consumes too much on the body." "That's it," Zeno asked. "Will he lose then?" "Will he? If you lose, it shouldn't be so, maybe, mister. Burdock will find a chance to get away, and he also knows that if the battle cannot be resolved quickly, he will not be able to afford it anymore." Grand Priest hits the nail on the head as predicted. As soon as Grand Priest finished speaking, Burdock exploded, directly dispersing all kinds of Kigong bombs and Kai blasting towards him from all directions. But the next second, Burdock's move took Grand Priest by surprise. 0-0, a group of annoying flies, just hide behind and attack. Burdock's eyes froze suddenly, and then he locked onto Gyron. Burdock knew very well that the reason why Topo and others were able to sneak up on him from behind and harass him was because Gyron was restraining him from the front. The Super 5 form has a lot of damage to the body. If he is hit by those Kigong bombs and Kai blast from nowhere, it will speed up the end of the time he maintains the Super 5 form then. Burdock breathed heavily. With an absolutely tough posture and strength, he launched an attack on Gyron again. Gyron is instantly on the verge of an enemy. He could also see that Burdock was at the end of his strength at this time, and he might not be able to last for 2 minutes. As long as it continues to drag on, he will be the winner. Although this is a bit disgraceful for a martial artist, Gyron can't care less about the life and death of the universe. Once you lose, then everything will become meaningless. His hard training for so many years has become meaningless. Bring it on. Gyron was not afraid at all, and his fighting spirit was burning next second. Boom. A monstrous red flame erupted from Gyron's body, and the entire Washiji shook violently at this moment. Gyron, the calendar status has been activated. When the red flame burst out, under the gaze of the gods, Super 5 Burdock was surrounded by golden energy flames, breaking through Gyron's red flame with an absolutely powerful and unstoppable attitude. A punch that condensed all of Burdock's strength and blasted head-on. Burdock's reckless attitude this time confirmed what he said to GSC back then. Saiyan is the one who would rather die than flee. Chapter 121. This guy is a monster. It Hasn and -039T fallen yet. Chapter 121. This guy is it a monster. It hasn't fallen yet. Gyron. Seeing this scene, the pupils of Topo, Dispo and others suddenly widened. It's impossible for them to support Gyron now, because Burdock's speed is too fast. Just as they reacted, Burdock's punch with all his power came down. Click, click. Wherever Burdock's fist passed, one can clearly see space cracks in the realm of nothingness, from which one can get a glimpse of how terrifying Burdock's punch that gathered all of them is. Gyron's pupils also widened suddenly, and he roared angrily, "If you lose, everything is meaningless." The words fell. Gyron was not afraid, and also punched head-on. Setsuna room. Under the watchful eyes of everyone, Burdock and Gyron's fists met like sparks hitting the earth. Boom! The moment the two fists met, The golden and red energy flames formed a state of confrontation. Thick and violent lightning danced continuously, and the entire Wajai 857 world shook violently at this moment. The stalemate lasted only a second, and then everyone was shocked to see that Burdock's golden energy arrogance was devouring Gyron's red flame aura like a glutton. Crack! Crack! The veins on Gyron's forehead were bulging, and his face became grim due to too much force. Gyron in the auditorium, Vermut's palms were sweating nervously. Kai wiped off his cold sweat and said in a deep voice, "Even if Gyron uses all his strength, isn't he still Burdock's opponent? It looks like there is a high probability that Gyron will lose." Quank. Makarita also shook her head. To be honest, under the power of Super 5 Burdock, she is not optimistic about Gyron either. Even with all his strength, there is still a certain gap between Gyron and Super 5 Burdock. If it weren't for Burdock not being able to perfectly control Super 5's power, and it would also cause too much damage to his body. I'm afraid that all members of the 11th universe have been eliminated by now. Burdock, Carpenter. Beerus stood up excitedly and gave Burdock all spiritual support. In this way, Mr. Burdock has won. Sin also looked excited. As long as Gyron, the strongest player in the 11th universe, is eliminated, the rest will be nothing. Wow. It's amazing. It's all so amazing. Who will win? Who will win? Zeno stared at Burdock and Gyron closely. His little face was full of excitement and excitement. Grand Priest narrowed his eyes slightly and said, "It seems that Mr. Burdock is going to put all his eggs in one basket. If he continues to be dragged down, he will be worn down by the wear and tear of Super Saiyan's 5 forms sooner or later. So he must make a decision as quickly as possible. Win or lose. There should be a result." Boom. The Grand Priest had just finished speaking. The ground cracked under Burdock and Gyron's feet, and then it could be seen. Gyron's right hand had already begun to tremble violently, and it was obvious that he was about to lose his hold. If his body wasn't strong enough, he might have been defeated by Burdock's power long ago. It was beyond Burdock's expectations that he could last this long. At the end of the crossbow, you lose. Drink. Boom. Burdock poured all the remaining energy in his body into his right fist again. Gyron's pupils shrank suddenly. Wow. The terrifying power finally defeated all of Gyron's pride. With the screams resounding, Gyron spat out a mouthful of blood on the spot, and then flew upside down like a paper kite with a broken string. Yeah, I won. Seeing this scene, Zin in the auditorium immediately cheered. However, Shin and Beerus couldn't be happier. Just as flash. The moment Burdock defeated Gyron, Topo united with Dispo and other proud team members again and attacked Burdock from behind. Boom boom boom. Countless Kigong bombs landed on Burdock's back. A series of energy explosions were triggered, and Burdock was instantly engulfed by the flames and smoke generated by the energy explosions this moment. Beerus and Zin's pupils suddenly widened. Burdock. Vados also frowned, his blood pressure gradually increased. These guys from the 11th universe didn't talk about martial arts, and they attacked Burdock again and again, which completely angered Vados. Champa next door wanted to congratulate Topo and the others for their surprise attack, but Champa subconsciously glanced at Vados, who was furious, and quickly fell silent in fright. Although Vados is no longer the guide angel of the 6th universe, Champa's fear of Vados is engraved in his DNA. Boom! 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 The Kigong bombing lasted for a long time before it gradually subsided. When the gunpowder smoke and flames dissipated, I saw Burdock's burly figure standing tall like an indestructible iron tower. Then, Burdock turned around slowly. His death-like icy eyes suddenly fell on Topo and the others. The 9 members of Topo fell into an ice cellar in an instant, and a icy coolness rushed from the soles of their feet to the sky. This guy, is he a monster? He hasn't fallen yet. Dispo's scalp tingled for a while, and his body took a few steps back like a conditioned reflex. Topo's face was also unprecedentedly solemn. After defeating Gyern and being repeatedly bombarded by their Kigum bombs, he was still standing. This is the first time they have encountered such a difficult opponent. Great, Burdock is all right. In the auditorium, Zin, who was still worried just now, breathed a sigh of relief, but Sim realized something was wrong when he subconsciously glanced at Beerus, Vados and Wise. Sinky boy, shut up for me. The old Supreme Kai slapped Zin on the head again. Old ancestor, what's the matter? Zin was stunned. Supreme Kai SR explained, Mr. Burdock can't take it anymore. What? Hearing this, Nan was startled. Isn't Burdock still doing well? Why can't he hold on? And when Zin cast his eyes on Burdock again, he saw that Burdock, who had just looked like a normal person, suddenly changed his face. Kyla! While the dark red electric light flickered, Burdock could no longer maintain the Super 5 form and directly returned to normal, then fell head-on on the ring. Seeing this scene, Topo and the others, who were tense just now, let out a long sigh of relief. They thought Burdock was an unbeatable monster just now, but now it seems that they were worrying too much. After the battle just now, Burdock has obviously reached his limit. If it's all right, then Burdock is really not a person, but a monster. In fact, the reason why Burdock was dragged down by the wear and tear of the Super 5 form was related to his cyan blood. Burdock was born as a low-level fighter after all. No matter how much special training he has, there is always an upper limit to his physical strength. If his physical strength or bloodlines have not been upgraded, that Super 5 is probably Burdock's limit. This is still the case for Super 5, let alone mentioning Super 6 in the audience. Although expected, Vados' anger 4.7 couldn't help but burst out when he saw Burdock's down Setsuna. Originally, without Topo's interference and sneak attack, Super 5 Burdock had to deal with Gyern, which can be said to be easy and enjoyable, but now it's just that, although the actions of Topo and others are despicable and shameless, they are also within the rules of the Tournament of Power. Even if Vados gets angry again, she can't say anything, and she can't do anything. After all, she is not a player. If Burdock was to be blamed, it was up to Kahn to do it. It appears that Mr. Burdock has reached his physical limit, Grand Priest said with a little regret. Dispo, who was still scared to death just now, let out a long sigh of relief, and said, Cut. What, it turns out it's only this level, then let me send you down. The words fell. Dispo charged towards Burdock. The moment the attack is launched, Dispo's speed suddenly increases to thousands of times. Even the naked eye cannot detect it. Burdock, dangerous. Chapter 122, The little eagle that needed care back then is now a hawk. Chapter 122, Those insects that besiege you, I will bury them with my own hands. When Dispo attacked Setsuna, the pupils of Beerus in the auditorium suddenly widened. Even Vados and Wise narrowed their eyes slightly. Could it be that Burdock is going to be the first player eliminated from the 7th universe? Vermut, by contrast, clenched his fists in excitement. As long as Burdock is eliminated, the first universe will lose a powerful opponent. Burdock is currently in a weak state. If Burdock is not eliminated now, he will be a formidable opponent when he recovers a little bit of strength. The players of the 11th universe are naturally very clear that if they want to win the Tournament of Power, they must do whatever they can. Just one Burdock to beat their ace, let alone Kahn watching from the sidelines. It's too late to say it. Dispo's speed was extremely fast, and it took only a split second. Before Zeno could even see clearly what happened, he heard Yu Dao's muffled sound. Boom! A figure was immediately knocked into the air. Just when Beerus thought it was Burdock who was knocked into the air, when he took a closer look, he realized that it wasn't Burdock who was knocked into the air but Dispo. And Burdock was still lying on the ground, not moving a bit. In front of Bada 29 grams, a tall and stalwart figure stood majestically, like the most reliable harbor, protecting Burdock behind him. It is Kahn. With his hands on his back, Kahn's eyes as dark as the night sky contained a touch of sullenness, and he was glaring at Toppo and others. "It's Lord Kahn." Supreme Kai immediately cheered excitedly. "Great. Master Kahn finally made a move." Beerus raised his mouth. "Game over." Wise also smiled slightly and said, "It is obviously unrealistic to eliminate Mr. Burdock under the eyes of Mr. Kahn. Master Kahn has made a move. This is the end of the first universe, guys." Champer rested his chin on his paw and said. Alice chuckled and said, "Their fate is almost predictable." "It doesn't look good, dear." Oh, when he saw Setsuna, who was shot by Kahn, Vermut's face was completely gloomy. Master Kahn finally made a shot. If it's just Burdock, Gyron, and the others can barely handle it. But if Kahn is added, then their 11th universe proud team will be vulnerable. Even if they have Gyron, the strongest human being. Master Kahn made a move. It seems that the players of the 11th universe are about to suffer. Hey, it's just right that the 11th universe has been eliminated, so our chances of winning will increase by 5 percentage points. The siege and sneak attack by 10 people is in line with the rules of the Tournament of Power, but it is disgraceful after all. I think Lord Kahn can't stand it anymore. Kahn made a move, which immediately attracted the attention of the gods. Zeno stood up excitedly and said excitedly, "Kahn is about to start fighting. I'm looking forward to it." Grand Priest nodded slightly and said, "Kahn should be angry for his father, but I don't know if Kahn will eliminate all the players from the 11th universe. Maybe we can look forward to it." In the arena, Dispo climbed up again from the rubble. He only felt that the bridge of his nose was broken. And when he saw Kahn standing in front of Burdock, the pores all over his body exploded instantly. Yes, it's him. Just now Dispo thought who could keep up with his speed, but it turned out to be Kahn. Is Big Boo's finally going to do it himself? In an instant, Toppo was facing a formidable enemy, and the other members of the proud team became tense physically and mentally. The sense of oppression that Kahn gave them is completely unmatched by Burdock. According to Vermut's description, Kahn has the terrifying power to instantly kill 10 of them. Although I haven't seen how powerful Kahn is, but if you underestimate Kahn because you haven't seen it, it's not self-confidence, but stupidity. Kahn, I didn't expect you to be asked to protect me one day. Burdock lay on the ground and said with difficulty. However, Burdock still felt extremely relieved in his heart. Back then, the little eagle that was just in its infancy and needed all kinds of care and protection by itself is now an eagle soaring into the sky. Its wide and powerful wings can even shield him from the world. Cut the ups and downs. If Kahn hadn't made a timely move just now, he might have been eliminated by Dispo just now. Although after a year of special training, it is still too much effort to transform into Super 5. Dad, you protected me so many times when I was a child, and it's my turn to protect you. Kahn spoke softly. I will bury those insects that besieged you just now. Immediately, Kahn turned his head and said to No. 18, no. 18, take Dad aside to rest and recover his strength. I'll finish the work right away. Exclamation no. 18 nodded lightly and hurriedly took the injured Burdock aside. Immediately afterwards, Kahn raised his gaze, and his eyes, which were as dark as the night sky, were burning with raging anger. You like to fight more with less, you like sneak attacks, don't you? Now let me be your opponent. After the cold voice fell, jet-like dark green energy flames burst from Kahn's body and soared into the sky. Kahn also transformed from the normal state to the super form. Transcend the form, that is, green hair. It can also be called the full power form of the Super 1 form of Chuanchao bloodline. You don't need to use your own will to clean up the insects like Toppo. Okay, let's get started. Kahn hooked his fingers towards Toppo and said domineeringly, within 5 seconds, if any of you are still standing on this ring, I will automatically jump off the ring. Heard the words. Toppo snorted disdainfully. I don't deny that you are very powerful, but did you say you would kill all of us in 5 seconds? What a big talk. Toppo admits that they will never be Kahn's opponents, but he still has great confidence that he can do it for 5 seconds. Before this, no one dared to say such wild words about 730 and their proud team. As Toppo's voice fell, the rest of the proud team members had formed a battle in tacit understanding, encircling Kahn in their encirclement circle at the same time. Jiren, who was defeated by Super 5 Burdock just now, also recovered a little bit of strength. He came to the Tournament of Power to fight for the 11th universe. If he lost the Tournament of Power, what was the point of all his hard work over the past few years? Jiren's proud self-esteem does not allow him to lose. Strength is absolute, and strength is justice. At this moment, the shadow of childhood came to Jiren's mind again. The death of a parent, the betrayal of a companion. These past events are the main reason why Jiren has practiced so hard over the years, and it is precisely because of this that he has changed from a sunny boy to a taciturn combatant. Therefore, Jiren will never allow himself to fail, especially on the big stage of the Tournament of Power. Failure means that the entire 11th universe will disappear. Raging. During Setsuna, billowing red flames exploded from Jiren's body again. The clothes were also completely torn apart at this moment, revealing his tall and strong muscles. Jiren was a little sluggish at first, but once again went crazy. Tread, tread. Jiren looked gloomy. Billowing flames were burning on his body, and he came slowly with red flames, like a god of death walking out of hell. Heartbreaking. Chapter 123, The 11th Universe, Shocked Zeno. Chapter 123, Instant Second 11th Universe, Shocked Zeno. What? Is this guy hiding his power? In the auditorium, looking at Jiren who seemed to walk out of the flames, Beerus couldn't help but frown. He thought that was Jiren's limit just now. As a result, Jiren's burst of strength was even stronger than before. It's not so much that he hides his strength, it's better to say that he, who is in a desperate situation, recalled some painful experiences that he didn't want to mention, and thus surpassed the limit. Explode stronger stiffness. Vados narrowed his beautiful eyes and said sharply, "It's like Cyan. Shout, he really is a tough guy." Beerus curled his lips. Jiren, a look of sadness flashed in Vermit's eyes. He knew Jiren's past, and also knew why Jiren changed from 10 sunny boys to a taciturn warrior. All of this stems from the unfair treatment Jiren suffered when she was a child. The murder of his parents and the betrayal of his companions made Jiren only willing to believe in himself, so he practiced desperately, and finally came to where he is today. Since then, Jiren believes that only with absolute power can he stop being unfairly treated so. This is the main reason why Jiren doesn't allow himself to fail. Once defeated, it means that he will be wiped out by Zeno together with the 11th universe. Jiren should not suffer such unfair treatment again. Wow! Zeno also exclaimed. Jiren is stronger. Who is stronger, he or Kahn? So looking forward to it. Grand Priest just glanced at Jiren and didn't speak. In Grand Priest's heart, even though Jiren erupted with stronger power than before, there was still no suspense about the outcome of this battle. The power of Jiren and Kahn are not in the same dimension at all. Kahn also turned around and said calmly, "You are right. If you want to stop being unfairly treated, you must have absolute strength. Unfortunately, your strength is vulnerable to a single blow in my eyes. Go ahead." Jiren Toppo was also slightly taken aback, and then gave an order, "Go." The number of people in this battle is 10 to 1. Could it be that they can't last 5 seconds? At least Toppo thinks so. 10 to 1, the advantage is mine. So what if Kahn is stronger? 2 punches are no match for 4 hands. Whoosh! With Toppo's order, 9 proud team members, including him, surrounded Kahn and launched an attack. In a blink, Toppo, Dispo and others have already advanced in and surrounded Kahn heavily. 9 people, 9 attacks, surpassed Kahn altogether. 5 also at this time. Kahn began to count down. When the offensive of Toppo and others came, Kahn stomped his big foot, boom. With Kahn as the center, The ground under his feet collapsed, and the violent dark green energy rolled, releasing an incomparable terrifying aura. Under this aura, Lord Wangpo was shocked back one after another. Immediately afterwards, bang bang bang. Kahn seemed to be standing still, but the 9 members of Topo had been hit hard to varying degrees. This heavy blow made them unable to control their bodies, and they went straight off the ring like a kite with a broken string. 11th Universe Topo, Dispo, and other 9 players were eliminated. Grand Priest then announced the defeat of Topo et al. After Zeno tapped the heads of the 9 Topo members one by one on the God Pad, he asked, "Grand Priest, what happened just now?" "I didn't see clearly at all." Grand Priest bowed slightly and said, "Master Zeno, the God Pad has a slow motion function, and you can watch what happened just now through the slow motion playback." "Is that so?" As expected of a Grand Priest, you are thoughtful. However, when Zeno found the slow playback function of the God Pad, he realized that even through slow playback, he couldn't clearly see what happened just now. In the slow motion picture, Kahn is still standing in place. Then Topo and the others suffered heavy blows from different directions and to different degrees, so they fell out of the ring directly. It seems that the slow playback function needs to be improved. Grand Priest then explained to Zeno, "Master Zeno, you belong to a sheep." Just now, Kahn completed the attack on the 9 Topo players with absolute speed in a very short moment, so it looks like Kahn is standing in the original position. It's like the ground hasn't moved. Oh, that's right, Kahn is amazing. After listening, Zeno looked adoring at the same time. In the arena, after beating Topo for 9, Kahn turned around abruptly. The moment the countdown sounded, Kahn rushed towards Jiren in a charging posture. In the process of rushing forward, Kahn has already completed the switch between the form of transmission and self-existence. Kahn's fist filled with purple energy flames grew bigger and bigger in Jiren's eyes next breath. Before Jiren could even react, Kahn's fist suddenly hit his stomach under his shocked gaze. Boom! The moment the muffled sound came out, terrifying energy penetrated Jiren's body, forming an energy shock wave that came out from behind. Suffering this heavy blow, the red flames on Jiren's body were defeated on the spot. Puff! Wow! Jiren's pupils widened, just like the Topo 9. After being knocked into the air, he fell off the ring without even having a chance to make amends. Back in the 11th Universe Auditorium, Jiren didn't even know it. Exclamation when Kahn's final countdown fell, the Grand Priest announced the ending of the 11th Universe. Jiren contestant eliminated. Grand Priest's judgment-like voice sounded in no realm. So far, all 10 contestants from the 11th Universe have been eliminated, so the 11th Universe is about to disappear, and there is not one left. It wasn't until the Grand Priest announced Setsuna that the 11th Universe was defeated, that the gods reacted. 11th Universe, eliminated. My god! Master Kahn actually eliminated the 11th Universe in 5 seconds. 11th Universe was eliminated just like that. Wang Lihao is too scary. Compared to back then, Mr. Kahn's power now has a qualitative leap. Who else can stop Lord Kahn? While the gods were shocked, the Gods of Destruction and Supreme Kai who participated in the universe already felt the breath of despair. Judging from Kahn's performance, their chances of winning are almost 0. Good job. Beerus stood up excitedly, telling you to besiege Burdock just now. This is the price you need to pay for it. As expected of Master Kahn, he almost eliminated the enemy in the blink of an eye. Old Supreme Kai exclaimed, "Kahn is amazing, soon." Zeno also exclaimed, and then shook his little hand. Hold. Bright white light bloomed from Zeno's little hand, and then under the horrified eyes of the gods, a white light descended from the sky, covering everything in the 10th universe except Makarita. Chapter 124 Husband, you must have thought this way when you beat me back then, right? Chapter 124 Husband, you must have thought this way when you beat me back then, right? In the audience, when enveloped by white light, Vermont let out a long sigh. This result was also accepted. In fact, From the very beginning, he didn't have much hope for Jairen's victory over Kahn. He just held that sliver of luck in his heart. Kahn's strength is indeed too supermodel for a game like Tournament of Power. It's like Dwayne Johnson going to a kindergarten boxing match. It's not too much to say that it's dimensionality reduction. Perhaps it is the fate of the 11th universe. Jairen, how are you doing? When Jairen regained his composure, he realized that he was supported by Toppo in the palm of his hand, and Dispo and others surrounded him, their eyes full of concern for their companions. Why? Jairen was puzzled. I obviously look down on you guys so much, Jairen. What are you talking about? We are companions. Dispo said yes. Although Jairen became a taciturn fighter because of his dark childhood experience, even if he joined the Pride team, he never regarded Toppo and Dispo as real companions. Because of the betrayal of his companions in childhood, he dared not trust any companions anymore. 833 But Toppo and Dispo are different. They really regard Jairen as their closest and most trustworthy partner. Heard the words. Jairen smiled self-deprecatingly, then sat up with Toppo's support. He looked at Kahn on the ring and murmured, if there is an afterlife, I think I have a new goal to pursue. Kahn, I hope to have another chance to play against you, Grip. As soon as Jairen finished speaking, Zeno's little hand was suddenly shaken off. With a bang, the 11th universe was eliminated by Zeno under the eyes of the gods and players except for the guide angel Makarita. And Makarita sat on the steps of the auditorium with her head down, wondering what she was thinking. It actually really disappeared. Master Zeno is worthy of being the supreme god. How terrifying. Watching all the members of the 11th universe disappear under his nose, the gods were shocked beyond measure. This is Zeno. Even though Zeno looks as harmless as a child, the gods know very well how terrifying Zeno is as the supreme god of the entire universe. Beerus also CJCD had cold sweat running down his forehead, and tremblingly said, Hey, Wise, has the 11th universe really disappeared? Wise checked it with the angel staff, and said, Oh, it really disappeared. There is nothing left. Otherwise, Master Beerus thinks Master Zeno is joking with everyone? Vados smiled lightly. It seems that we can't lose anymore. I don't want to disappear. Beerus said in a deep voice. The luckiest thing for Beerus is that he has Kahn on his side. In the arena, because of the disappearance of the 11th universe, all the players stopped at the same time. They looked up at Zeno's direction, their eyes full of horror and shock. It wasn't until this moment that they realized clearly that once they lost the battle, Zeno would really wipe out the entire universe. Kahn, did you knock out the 11th universe by yourself? Vegeta pouted. He was enjoying the battle just now, but Kahn single-handedly eliminated the 11th universe. This horse is trying to end the Tournament of Power as soon as possible. While Son Goku was shocked, he also had some regrets. Originally, he wanted to play 2 tricks with Jairen, but he was eliminated by Kahn before he found the opportunity. What's the matter? What's the matter? Why isn't everyone moving? Zeno blinked his cute little eyes and asked in doubt. Grand Priest smiled meaningfully and said, You can see players who are almost unbearable everywhere. I think they will start fighting again soon next second. For our universe, go. In the ring that had fallen silent, a fierce scuffle broke out. Everyone realizes that if they don't go all out, the 11th universe is a lesson for them. Therefore, in order not to be wiped out by Zeno, everyone broke out with stronger strength to fight for the slightest hope of survival for their universe. On the side of the pillar in the middle of the arena, Kahn gave Burdock some relief, and Burdock's state and health improved slightly. Kahn, please. Burdock stood up again. He shook his hands, shook his head and said, My body is still too weak to withstand the power of Super Saiyan 5. These are small problems. When the Tournament of Power is over, make a wish to me. Kahn says none of that is a problem. With Super Shenron's wishing ability, whether it's giving Burdock the strongest physical body in the universe or upgrading his bloodline is a trivial matter. Hearing this, Burdock shook his head and said, No need, Kahn, I'm already satisfied with my own power. If it wasn't for this resurrection, I wouldn't even dare to imagine that I could have such a powerful power. It's fine, Dad, as long as you are satisfied. In response, Kahn respected Burdock's wishes. Since he was satisfied with his strength, Kahn naturally wouldn't say anything. After this battle, for the time being, no one who dares to open his eyes to find Kahn has trouble then. Kahn, Burdock and No. 18 watched the battle leisurely. Well, it's mainly to watch the battle between Lin Yu and Caulifla. After eliminating 11th Universe, Kahn planned to start clearing the field, but the battle between Lin Yu and Caulifla was not over yet, so Kahn planned to wait for them to finish before clearing the field at this moment. Under Lin Yu's various stimuli and inducements, Caulifla has successfully transformed into a Super 2 form. But even so, even together with Kair, the two of them are not Lin Yu's opponents. In the past 6 years, due to his own bloodline and Kahn's teaching, Lin Yu's normal battles have exceeded 200 billion. Moreover, he also initially learned the ultimate self-will, and his strength has made a qualitative leap. Boom. Boom. Facing the left and right attacks of Caulifla and Kale, Lin Yu was calm and unhurried, and easily avoided their joint attack with just a shift. Immediately, it punched Caulifla and Kale in the abdomen. Caulifla and Kale were knocked into the air on the spot, smashing 2 raised boulders along the way to pieces. No, son, your strength is too small, and you can't leave a deep impression on the other party, Kahn joked with gusto. No. 18 was speechless for a while. She narrowed her beautiful eyes and asked, Honey, you must have thought like this when you hit me back then, right? Kahn tactical coughed and argued. I didn't, I'm not, don't talk nonsense. Chapter 125, but Dad, I and -039 am only 12 years old. It smells so good. Chapter 125, but Dad, I'm only 12 years old. It smells so good. Yes. 18 narrowed his eyes suspiciously. The more Kahn explained, the more suspicious she became. Maybe Kahn thought the same way when he hit her. But no. 18 has to admit that the impression Kahn left on her back then was indeed deep enough. Beating her half to death, and then saving her from Cell, she still misses Kahn years later. Can I still lie to you? Kahn spoke confidently. Immediately, he quickly changed the topic. Let's take a look at Xiaoyu first, and we'll talk about this topic later. Lin Yu over there. Caulifla and Kale stood up from the pile of rubble in disgrace. Although disgraced and embarrassed, Caulifla's fighting spirit is constantly rising. But what makes her unconvinced is why Lin Yu can hang and beat her Super 2 without even transforming. Immediately, Caulifla coquettishly shouted unconvinced, Hey, how did you cultivate? I have already transformed into Super Saiyan 2, but you haven't transformed yet, so why can't I beat you? Want to beat me? You can practice for another 500 years. Lin Yu lifted his eyelids lightly and said disdainfully, Cut, Caulifla spat, stop pretending to be an expert, and watch me beat you hard. Boom! Caulifla exploded with anger, and then tapped her toes lightly, already stalking forward. The little powder fist wrapped in golden energy flames hit Lin Yu's chest directly. Only this time, Lin Yu didn't dodge anything, and let Caulifla's punch hit him hard. The next moment, boom! Caulifla's fist hit Lin Yu's chest firmly, but Lin Yu remained motionless. After being punched by Super 2 Caulifla in the front, Lin Yu didn't even move his footsteps. What? Caulifla's pupils shrank, and she immediately felt something was wrong. Are you tickling me? Lin Yu's eyes moved down slightly, looked down at Caulifla, and said disdainfully, With this little power, you dare to threaten to defeat me. Pia! Lin Yu slapped Caulifla with his backhand, and slapped Caulifla in the air several times before landing heavily. Well done, this slap, that's it, keep going. Kahn's voice came from his mind again. Lin Yu curled his lips and then glanced at his father. Kahn himself was looking at his side with great interest. Dad, I didn't realize that you still have such a bad taste. Lin Yu replied with contempt. My father doesn't seem to be serious. Son, what do you know? What kind of bad taste is this? Dad is teaching you how to pick up girls. Learn something for me. Otherwise, if you can't find a partner in the future, don't come crying and begging me to teach you. I won't do it then. Free time. Lin Yu. Just when Lin Yu was speechless, Caulifla got up again and attacked him. Snapped. Lin Yu stretched out his right hand carelessly and received Caulifla's punch. Then he lifted his right foot and kicked Caulifla's abdomen heavily. Caulifla screamed and flew backwards again. Son, Caulifla's afro is indeed not very good looking, but you can see that her face is actually quite delicate. If you don't like this afro, at most it's a matter of changing her hairstyle. Kahn's voice transmission continued to sound. Caulifla is the most talented female scion in the 6th universe. The fusion of your genes and her genes will definitely produce a stronger offspring. Lin Yu was speechless again by Kahn. Hearing what his father said, Lin Yu found that Caulifla's face was indeed quite delicate only, but Dad, I'm only 12 years old. Lin Yu was speechless. Originally, he was only here to participate in the Tournament of Power, and he didn't think much of it at all. In the end, he was caught off guard by his father and learned how to pick up girls. Who would he turn to for reasoning? Although, at the beginning, Lin Yu didn't expect to come to the Tournament of Power to pick up girls, but if it's Caulifla, he is actually not unacceptable. Especially Caulifla's arrogant and unyielding character aroused his desire to conquer. It smells so good and it's over. It's just that he is 12 years old, which makes Lin Yu hesitate. Is he really old enough to pick up girls? As a result, Kahn's words completely dispelled his doubts. I just heard Kahn say, 12 years old. You go out and say that you are 12 years old. Do you think anyone will believe it? There is a saying that a day's plan starts in the morning. You are indeed young now, but you can already plan ahead for the object gone. Besides, even if you get Caulifla, it doesn't mean you'll get married right away. Lin Yu, okay, then I'll try. If it doesn't work, pull it down. Just let it go. After finishing speaking, Kahn jumped on a boulder and sat down, watching the battle between Lin Yu and Caulifla with great interest. Ask for Flowers 18th also knows about Kahn's plan, but she can't control this matter. She just wants to join in the fun. In the arena, I saw that Lin Yu was fighting with Caulifla and Kale again. It doesn't matter how serious Lin Yu's attack is, Kair was soon beaten by Lin Yu, and he couldn't get up again. Caulifla also has no time to take care of Kale at the moment, because Lin Yu's offensive against her is becoming more and more fierce, and Caulifla can only defend passively. But her strength is too different from Lin Yu's. Although she successfully transformed into Super 2, Caulifla's combat power is only around 30 to 40 billion. It's not Lin Yu's opponent at all. Soon, under Lin Yu's fierce attack, Caulifla's defense collapsed and was hit hard again by Lin Yu. This blow directly stunned Caulifla. She can no longer maintain the Super 2 form and has returned to normal. Tread. Lin Yu's face was calm, and he approached Caulifla step by step. Caulifla wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. As Lin Yu kept approaching, there was no panic in Caulifla's eyes, only unwillingness. She is not reconciled to losing to Lin Yu, because in Caulifla's heart, she is the strongest. Like I said, you won't be my opponent if you practice for another 500 years. Lin Yu looked down at Caulifla indifferently. Caulifla tried to stand up again, but failed. In desperation, Caulifla could only sit slumped on the ground and roared unwillingly, "It's just a little stronger than me, nothing to be proud of." Lin Yu frowned and was about to give Caulifla the final blow. Kahn's voice transmission came again. Son, wait for a while, you can't do this, you have to show your true strength to defeat her, so the effect will be better. Real strength? Self-will? Lin Yu asked. Children can be taught, it is good. Lin Yu raised his eyelids and said to Caulifla, since you are not convinced, then I will show you my true strength. True strength? Caulifla was startled, and then I saw Lin Yu clenched his fists, and the surging purple energy arrogance swept out of Lin Yu. Lin Yu's appearance changed accordingly. Lin Yu, who used to have a cold face, now has a fierce face. But Caulifla didn't have any fear, but became more excited. What is your form called? Teach me to change. Then I will beat you again. Chapter 126. Congratulations. This tournament of power, it and 039's time to end. Chapter 126. Congratulations, brothers and friends. This tournament of power should be overseeing Lin Yu's self-importance. Caulifla realized that the so-called Super 1 and Super 2 that Lin Yu taught her just now are simply scum. Dare to love Lin Yu is to hide the good things by himself, and teach himself how to transform some rubbish. Lin Yu blinked his eyes and said disdainfully, "This is called self-intention skill, and with your strength, you still have a long way to go to learn it. Then you teach me how to become strong first, and then teach me this self-intentional kung fu." Caulifla was relentless. She decided that she must learn the self-intentional skill. No chance, because you will be eliminated soon. The words fell. Lin Yu no longer had any hesitation, and knocked Caulifla off the ring with one move. Then he gave Kale another shot. 6th Universe. Caulifla and Kale are eliminated. Grand Priest then announced the appearance of Caulifla and 860 Kale. It is good. Zeno tapped with his little hands, and the heads of Caulifla and Kale on the god pad immediately turned gray. Caulifla, Tian Yu. Seeing Caulifla and Kale return to the ring, Champa screamed and angrily said, "Whoever made you eliminated, the secret weapon I gave you has never been used." The secret weapon that Champa said is naturally Batra earrings. Caulifla wanted to use it, but she never had the chance. Lin Yu's strength is too strong, she doesn't even have a chance to combine. What's it called? You're amazing, go for it. Caulifla was not afraid of Champa at all, and yelled back on the spot. Originally, she was furious when Lin Yu defeated her. After being eliminated, she would be held accountable by Champa. Forgive Caulifla for not being able to bear it. What did you say? Believe it or not, I will destroy you. Champa almost got a heart attack from anger, clamoring to destroy Caulifla. You are so righteous even after being eliminated. Don't you know that you bear the fate of the entire 6th universe? And at this moment, Beerus mocked from the next door, "Champa, don't be so anxious, you will be destroyed by Master Zeno soon." Ha 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 ha. After finishing speaking, Beerus did not forget to laugh out loud. Skinny monkey, you. Being ridiculed by Beerus, the veins on Champa's forehead twitched even more. If Kahn hadn't been born in the 7th universe, I'd be able to see if you're still smiling. Slightly. Beerus directly made a face, which made Champa's blood pressure go straight up. Very angry. But Champa has nothing to do with Beerus. Even if he wanted to fight Beerus, Grand Priest and Zeno were still watching. Champa didn't dare to act rashly call out. Just when Beerus was triumphant, a figure suddenly returned to the seat of the 7th Universe auditorium. It was Vegeta. The 7th Universe Vegeta player is eliminated. Eh? Beerus was stunned for a few seconds before reacting and asked, "Vegeta, how did you get eliminated?" Shout, this guy's moves are really difficult. The slightly embarrassed Vegeta curled his lips and then subconsciously glanced at Hit on the ring. I saw Hit put his hands in his pockets and glanced lightly at the auditorium. It's Heat. Champa was also wondering who eliminated Vegeta, but when he saw Setsuna, who was Hit, Champa, who was still sullen, suddenly became enlightened and laughed triumphantly. Good job, Hit. Continue to eliminate the 7th universe for me. Those guys. Hit really deserves to be the #1 killer in the universe. Then, Champa did not forget to glance at Beerus next door. Beerus's eyelids twitched fiercely. I didn't expect that there would be a master who could eliminate Vegeta in the 6th universe. I miscalculated. Because of Vegeta's elimination, Beerus couldn't be happy for a while. If the opponent is Hit, Vegeta is indeed difficult to parry. Vados Popular Science said, after all, Hit is the #1 killer in the universe of the 6th universe. It is not a shame for Vegeta to lose to Hit. Hit's flash time skills are not usually difficult to deal with. Heard the words. Vegeta's eyelids twitched wildly, and he asked, so his move is called flash time kung fu? Tusk, if you give me a little more time, I can figure out his attack habits. However, Vados shook his head and said, if you don't know the principle of Hit's flash time skill, it may be difficult to decipher it. In the arena, after eliminating Caulifla and Kaolin, Shu reunited with Kaking. Father, I did everything you said, but after all the contestants from the 6th universe are eliminated, won't they be eliminated by Master Zeno? Lin Yu asked puzzledly, then what's the point of me doing this? Kahn just smiled and said ambiguously, the disappearance is only temporary. Ah, what do you mean? Lin Yu scratched his head, the sun was shining. Kahn patted him on the shoulder, and said earnestly, okay, son, you don't have to worry about these things, you just need to know that you will definitely have a chance to see Caulifla in the future. Now, let's clear the field, this tournament of power, it's time to end. Now that the tournament of power is halfway through, it's almost time for Zeno to watch it. Then it's time to bring this farce to an end. Afterwards, Kahn found Burdock with No. 18 and Lin Yu. Daddy, how are you feeling? Burdock nodded slightly and said, I'm fine, I can continue to fight. Then let's end this tournament of power. Then, under Kahn's order, Lin Yu and Burdock dispersed and began to attack other universe players. Kahn also took the number 18 and started to clear the field. Just 5 minutes. The players in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th universes were eliminated one after another, and then the entire universe was cleared by Zeno. The sudden acceleration of the tournament of power caused the Gods of Destruction, who had not yet defeated the universe, to panic. Oops! Master Kahn seems to want to end this tournament of power. It's over, none of us can stop Lord Kahn. Sidra and Rumshi looked so sullen they could almost drip water. Not to mention their universe players, even if they go up in person, they cannot be Kahn's opponents. The fate of their universe's demise seems to have been laid. If there is no accident, they will have an accident later as predicted. After the 2nd, 4.4 3rd, and 4th universes were eliminated one after another, the 9th and 10th universes followed. Under the attack of Kahn and others, the 2 universe players had almost no resistance, and all 10 players were eliminated at last. This is the 6th universe. Frost, Gabe, and the others had almost no room to resist, so they were given an instant by Kahn at last. When Kahn made a move on Hit, Champa was still holding a chance, but when Kahn killed Hit with one move, Champa's last hope was also shattered. The 6th universe Hit player is eliminated. All 10 contestants from the 6th universe are eliminated, and there is not one left, so the 6th universe is about to disappear. P.S. The 7th update will be delivered. The last update will be around 12 o'clock, and the 8th update will be the 8th update. For the sake of the little author's hard work in coding, let's give a flower. Chapter 127 Kahn Antash 039's Wish. Remember to teach me self-intention next time. Chapter 127 Kahn's Wish. Remember to teach me self-intention next time. It is good. Grand Priest's judgmental voice sounded, and Zeno shook his little hand again. A white light representing disappearance fell again, enveloping Champa and others. Hit, I didn't expect you to. Looking at Hit with a dejected face, Champa originally wanted to be angry, but after thinking about it, he finally swallowed back the words that came to his throat. Feel sorry. Although Champa didn't start cursing, Hit still said sorry. From the very beginning, Hit knew that it was impossible for him to defeat Kahn. He knew that he had just fought against Kahn, and Hit had just personally experienced the horror of Kahn. Kahn feels like an insurmountable mountain to him. Terrible. Thinking about it now, Hit still has lingering fears. Forget it. After all, you all worked hard. People speak kindly when they are about to die. Even Champa, who is usually very irritable, has become merciful now. Are you sure you're not joking? You actually want to say goodbye to Master Champa, blah blah. At this time, Vados suddenly got in the mood and teased Champa. Although Vados also hated Champa because he wanted to destroy Kahn, she had also been Champa's guide angel for many years. Now that Champa is about to disappear, Vados bid farewell to him in his own way. Champa's eyelids twitched fiercely, and he said speechlessly, "Vados, you are still mocking me at this time." "Oh ho ho ho." Vados covered his mouth and smiled and said, "Master Champa, see you again if you are destined." Champa let out a long sigh and didn't bother to argue with Vados anymore. "Just save yourself some effort." "Hello, Lin Yu." At this moment, Caulifla stood up suddenly, looked at Lin Yu who was standing beside Kahn on the ring, waved her hands and shouted at Lin Yu, "Remember to teach me that self-intention skill next time. Wait, I have learned ultimate instinct, and I will definitely defeat you." Grip. As soon as Caulifla finished speaking, Zeno's little hand was suddenly squeezed. Feeling that he was about to disappear, Champa turned to Beerus. "Hey, brother." Beerus glanced and saw Champa grimace at him. Immediately, under the watchful eyes of Kahn, Lin Yu and the gods, Champa, Fua, hit and Caulifla turned into a white light and disappeared completely. Alice was left sitting there alone. Beerus, who had been looking forward to Champa's disappearance just now, was completely unhappy at the moment. Beerus looked a little confused, and after a few seconds, he said to himself, "Say something." Although he and Champa do not get along with each other on weekdays, they almost quarrel or even fight when they meet, but in the end, they are still brothers between Champa and Champa. When it was time to say goodbye, Beerus began to miss those days of bickering and fighting with Champa. In the arena, it was not until the moment Caulifla disappeared that Lin Yufeng said, "I am waiting for you to defeat me, if there is still a chance." It seems that Zioyu has begun to miss Caulifla. 18th couldn't help but make a joke. Hashashgolan haha, son, don't be sad. Kahn patted Lin Yu's shoulder and said with a smile, "You will see your little girlfriend soon." "Dad, don't talk nonsense. She is not my little girlfriend." Lin Yu, who originally had a cold face, blushed when Kahn said a word. Kahn laughed again, looking at Lin Yu with a look I understand. Kahn is someone who has experienced it, so how can he not know what his son is thinking in his heart? At the same time, Grand Priest's voice sounded again. Due to the disappearance of the 6th universe, there are only players from the 7th universe left in the arena. This tournament of power is over, and you win the 7th universe in the 3rd class. Afterwards, Grand Priest consulted with Zeno. Grand Priest walked up to Kahn and others on the floating platform and said with a smile, "Kahn, after Mr. Zeno's thinking, you have been named the best player in this tournament of power. So you will be rewarded with a Super Dragon Ball. You can achieve any wish with Super Dragon Ball. May I ask if you have made up your wish?" Kahn was named the MVP player, basically deserved it. Even leaving aside the second half, Kahn is worthy of the title of EMP in terms of Kahn's performance in eliminating the entire 11th universe alone. It was also at this moment that Lin Yu seemed to have guessed something. "Dad, isn't that what you're talking about?" Kahn made a silent gesture to signal him not to speak. Rumble. Immediately afterwards, 7 Super Dragon Balls, which were comparable to the size of the Earth, rose slowly from the bottom of the ring, and the sacred golden light emitted from them instantly illuminated Washiji. Setsuna, when 7 Super Dragon Balls appear. Zeno, the angels, and the gods rose to their feet. Immediately, Grand Priest faced the 7 Super Dragon Balls and said in the language of God, "Come out, Dragon of God, and make your wish I want to send come true." The moment the summoning spell sounded, the Soil Super Dragon Ball responded instantly. A series of golden thunderbolts linked the 7 Super Dragon Balls together, and an incomparably sacred aura flooded everyone's hearts. Rumble. The entire realm of nothingness was violently shaken at this moment. On the 7 Super Dragon Balls, a dazzling golden light suddenly burst out, refracting in all directions. The bright golden light shone on everyone, and even illuminated the whole Wajasi a long time. But the golden light dissipated, and a Super Shenron exuding a supreme divine aura appeared in everyone's sight. 957, as if boundless. The dragon body of Super Shenron wraps around the entire arena, and his dragon eyes are watching Kahn and the others and Grand Priest on the arena, and then the dragon's mouth opens slightly. Those who summon me, tell me your wish. Any wish of yours will come true. So, Mr. Kahn, have you thought about your wish? Grand Priest waved his hand and asked. Zeno also rushed over under the support of 2 guards. His immature face was full of anticipation. I can do anything. What do you want? At this time, Vados, Beerus, and the others also flew over in the shortened audience stand. I don't know what Lord Kahn's wish is. First Universe Gods of Destruction Iln said. Unpredictable. Gods of Destruction King said. Vados, Beerus, Wise, Son Goku, and others all focus on Kahn, expecting Kahn's wishes. When Kahn fulfills his wish, the tournament of power will truly come to an end. To be honest, I don't have any wishes to fulfill, but the Super Shenron has been summoned, so let me think about it. Kahn held his chin and thought for a while, then raised his head with a smile in his dark eyes and said, Master Grand Priest, I've made up my mind. Then my wishes be yes. It will be delivered at 8 o'clock. Please ask for flowers. Chapter 128 Mind and Pattern. Is this what you expected too? Kahn. Chapter 128 Mind and Pattern. Is this what you expected? Kahn, what is it? Zeno seemed impatient to know what Kahn wanted. I saw Kahn solemnly said, as the future gods of destruction, I have the obligation to discipline those gods of destruction and supreme Kai who do not act, because their inaction caused the entire universe to pay the price of their lives, for which I deeply regret. So, let everything go back to the way it was. After I take office as the great gods of destruction, I will strictly manage the inaction gods of destruction and supreme Kai that were cleared by Master Zeno, so that the average level of all universe humans can be improved go up. My God! Master Kahn's wishes to restore the universe that was cleared by Master Zeno. It's unbelievable that even though we were sorry for Lord Kahn at the Gods of Destruction Summit, he was able to let go of the past at all. Master Kahn's mind and pattern are indeed the best candidates for Gods of Destruction. I would like to follow in the footsteps of Lord Kahn forever. As soon as Kahn's wish came out, Aeon and other gods were stunned again. This wish was beyond their expectation. Once, Zeno said that the 8 universes below the average level of human beings should be cleared. It was Kahn who stood up and fought for the only chance for everyone to survive. Now that the tournament of power is over, Kahn is the best player to win the universe and makes another wish to restore those lost universes. At this moment, the remaining 5 gods of destruction were completely overwhelmed by Kahn's broad mind and structure few. None of them can guarantee that if one of them is replaced by Kahn, they can have such a mind and pattern. If they were Kahn, they might make a selfish wish. Even if they didn't, they would never think of restoring those universes that Zeno wiped out. The gap between them and Kahn is not only in strength, but also in mind and structure. Is Master Kahn's wish to restore those universes that were purged on the tournament of power? It's unbelievable. In this regard, even Wise did not expect that Kahn's wish turned out to be to restore those universes that were wiped out. It's not surprising at all. My husband has such a personality. Maybe he is selfish sometimes. He still knows the difference between right and wrong. Vados' vermilion lips were slightly raised, and there was a touch of pride on his pretty face. This is one of the reasons why she likes Kahn, which is also Kahn's unique personality charm. Dad, although he had expected it, Lin Yu was still extremely shocked when he heard Kahn's wish. Kahn smiled and said, Son, didn't Dad say that Caulifla's disappearance is only temporary? Is that all right? Zeno leaned in front of Kahn, seemingly surprised by Kahn's wish. Isn't that enough? Kahn asked back with a smile and then continued, Master Grand Priest, please make a wish. After confirming Kahn's wish, Grand Priest smiled slightly, then turned his head to look at Super Shenron, and made a wish for Kahn to Super Shenron with the language of God. To the content of Kahn's wish, crimson blooms a touch immediately, Super Shenron opened his mouth, roar. The shocking dragon chant resounded through Wajiji. Immediately afterwards, under everyone's gaze, Super Shenron wandered around the ring, and then the golden light suddenly flourished. Rumble! The entire Wajiji shook violently again at last. When Wajiji returned to calm, the golden light dissipated, and Super Shenron also turned into 7 golden lights, scattered in 7 directions, and disappeared from everyone's sight. Mr. Kahn, your wish is unexpected, but Zeno also expected this result. Grand Priest slowly fell down, and said with a faint smile, Zeno will definitely worry about the benevolence of other universes in consideration of the warriors who can survive to the end. Kahn shrugged with a smile, non-committal. Then what if Lord Kahn makes other wishes? Beerus asked. Grand Priest said, if Mr. Kahn puts forward selfish wishes, then Zeno intends to wipe everything out. Heard the words. Beerus and Supreme Kai couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. Did you expect that too? Kahn. 6th Universe. Champa opened his eyes again, only to find that he had returned to his palace. Everything on Tournament of Power seems to be just a dream. 1B when seeing Hit, Caulifla and others in front of him, Champa came to his senses. Tournament of Power was not a dream and someone resurrected him, and the entire 6th Universe. As for who this person is, although Champa's IQ is not very good, he immediately thought of who it was. Kahn. No surprises. Nobody else but Kahn. After all, their 6th universe was the last to be cleared by Zeno, and then the 7th universe won. The 7th universe wins, so the best player must be Kahn. It was Kahn who wished on the Super Shenron to restore the 6th universe. Thinking of this, Champa showed a rare smile and sincerely thanked Master Kahn. Thank you. Kale, great, we're not dead. Caulifla also embraced Kyra excitedly, unable to conceal the joy and excitement in her heart. Well, that's great, sister. Hit looked at the wish and muttered to himself, it's really an unpredictable guy. 11th Universe. The bustling city is still feasting and feasting. Gyern, Topo, Dispo and other proud team members stood shoulder to shoulder. They looked up at the sky, and a cloud in the sky seemed to merge into Kahn's appearance. Topo turned his head to look at Gyern, and saw that Gyern, who used to be called facial paralyzed, had a smile on his lips. Gyern Topo was slightly taken aback from Zhao. Gyern smiled and said, Topo, we still have to work hard to practice. We will meet again next time. We must defeat Kahn. It was this tournament of power that made Gyern deeply aware of the saying that there are people beyond people and beyond. In the 11th universe, he is indeed the strongest human being. But outside of the 11th universe, there are people stronger than him. Not to mention Kahn, even Super 5 Burdock is no match for him. Gyern, who had no motivation to practice, became full of energy again. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 9th, 10th universes. Although they didn't see which universe won the championship in the end, but this kind of thing, even those with toes can imagine it. Not surprisingly, it must be Kahn, no doubt. Quitela star. Quitela put his hands on his hips, with a grateful smile on his face. Thank you, Mr. Kahn. From now on you will be the person I respect and admire the most. Chapter 129. The little girlfriend came to the door. The big Gods of Destruction staff has recovered. Chapter 129. The little girlfriend came to the door, and the big Gods of Destruction staff recovered its divine power. In a blink of an eye. It's been a month since the Tournament of Power ended. On this day, the Kahn family lived a peaceful and warm daily life in the back garden as usual. It's just that an unexpected guest came today. It can't be said to be an uninvited guest. It should be said to be an expected guest. Under the leadership of Angel, the wizard of the 6th universe, Caulifla came to Universal Capsule Company. Oh, isn't this Cyan from the 6th universe? Vados raised his willow eyebrows slightly and said in surprise. No. 18 smiled meaningfully. I guess they came to find Zioyu. Looking for Zioyu? Bulma blinked and looked at his son suspiciously, only to find that Lin Yu's cold face suddenly became tense. "Hi, long time no see everyone." Alice was the first to greet everyone. "Long time no see, elder sister Alice." Vados waved with a smile. Kahn's eyes fell directly on Caulifla, and he teased, "Isn't that who, Caulifla? You came to find my son?" Standing in front of Kahn and the others, Caulifla did not show any strangeness or restraint. She put her hands on her hips and said carelessly, "Of course. Lin Yu, teach me how to become strong quickly, and then teach me self-intention." Lin Yu sat on the chair, still with a cold expression on his face, and said, "When did I say that I would teach you the ultimate self-intention skill? I don't care. Teach me quickly, and I will beat you when I learn it," Caulifla said incredulously. "No time, no interest." Lin Yu looked away, as if he didn't want to talk to Caulifla at all. "Humph." Caulifla snorted softly, then stepped forward in 2 steps, and grabbed Lin Yu's arm directly. "Come here. Hurry up." Only. No matter how hard Caulifla tried, Lin Yu still sat on the chair, motionless as a mountain. If Lin Yu doesn't want her to take him away, Caulifla really has nothing to do. Seeing this scene, everyone couldn't help secretly laughing. Cough, cough. At this moment, Kahn suddenly coughed tactically, implying that Lin Yu's time is almost up. Lin Yu curled his lips, and he secretly glanced at Bulma, Lades and others, only to see that everyone turned their eyes away and did not look at him and Caulifla. Now Lin Yu is even more shy and embarrassed. For a while, Lin Yu couldn't overcome his own psychology. Seeing this, Kahn said impatiently, in broad daylight, "Don't block my eyes here. People have come to the door. If you want to teach you, just teach. You are still like a woman. Are you still a man? Go away. You're really worthless. You've reached this point, and you still need me to assist you." Lin Yu, let me say it first. I'm only responsible for teaching. I don't care if you can't learn. Lin Yu had no choice but to get up and say, "Who do you look down on?" Caulifla put her hands on her hips and said unconvinced, "You only teach. I will definitely learn." For her talent, Caulifla is still very confident. She is not afraid that she will not be able to learn, but she is afraid that you will not teach. "Okay, then you come with me." Then, Lin Yu took Caulifla to the gravity training room. "Yeah, it's terrible. Brother Xiaoyu has a girlfriend." As soon as Lin Yu left, Lades couldn't help gossiping on his back. Bulma almost laughed from ear to ear. She asked excitedly, "Husband, what's going on here?" Kahn succinctly recounted the story of Lin Yu and Caulifla on the Tournament of Power. After listening, Bulma smiled and said, "Okay, this little girl is pretty, and she matches Xiaoyu very well. It's just that her hairstyle is a bit exaggerated. One day I will change her hairstyle and it will be perfect." Kahn also said with a smile, "This brat wasn't happy at first, but now he doesn't smell really good. It's not easy CJBH for my own father. Zhang worked so hard, taught him hand in hand, and had to give him assists." Originally, Lin Yu's Saiyan blood was not very pure. If he married a woman from Earth after he grows up, then Saiyan's genes would be diluted to what extent? In addition, Caulifla took the initiative to challenge at the conference, so Kahn had a flash of inspiration, and there was such a thing. Some people may say that it is better to combine Lin Yu's Chuanchao bloodline with Kale's Chuanchao bloodline. Kyle might as well forget about it. Kale is introverted and not very tidy, and she only likes Caulifla, not interested in men at all. In contrast, Caulifla has a carefree personality, and she is much prettier than Kale, and her talent is also outstanding. Based on all the above, Caulifla can be said to be the best candidate. "Sister Alice, why did you bring Caulifla here?" Vados asked suddenly. Alice spread her hands and said, "It's not that I want to bring her here. It's her own request. So I had to find a time to bring her here." "I see." As he spoke, Vados summoned Angel's staff and said enthusiastically, "Let me see what Xiaoyu and Caulifla are doing." "Mom, let me be healthy too." Lades hurried over. "No." 18 and Bulma were also full of curiosity and rushed over one after another. Seeing this, Kahn couldn't help sighing. Sure enough, gossip is a woman's nature. Just as Vados and others were spying on Lin Yu and Caulifla, a purple space vortex suddenly appeared, followed by Grand Priest. Lord Grand Priest. Vados hastily put away Angel's staff and said in unison with Alice, "I have seen Lord Grand Priest." Grand Priest waved his hand, indicating that they don't need to be polite. Then he said to Kahn, "Mr. Kahn, please come with me." "Oh." Kahn frowned. Could it be that has the great staff of Gods of Destruction returned to peak power? "Master Grand Priest, did Master Zeno summon Kahn?" Vados asked. "No, it's not Zeno summoning Kahn this time." Grand Priest shook his head and said, "Vados, you don't need to go with me this time, Mr. Kahn will be back soon." "Yes, because the gods are in harmony with the balance." "So." Grand Priest looked at Kahn and said, "Mr. Kahn, let's go." Kahn nodded slightly and then left with the Grand Priest. "I don't know what will happen this time." After the Grand Priest left with Kahn, Vados held his chin and said thoughtfully, "Anyway, it's nothing serious, Mom. Keep watching." Lades, who was full of gossip, urged. "It's not the first time Grand Priest has come. They've been used to it for a long time. And the crisis of the universe's destruction last time has passed. So what else can happen?" Chapter 130 Angel Realm, Angel Tree. Check in again. Chapter 130 Angel World, Angel Tree. Sign in again. This is a vast expanse of space that stretches as far as the eye can see. No matter the sky or the ground, there is a vast expanse of whiteness. From a distance, the sky and the sky are all the same color, and it is impossible to tell which side is the sky and which side is the ground. The heaven and the earth are filled with extremely strong divine power. Compared with the divine power of the heaven and earth in the great Gods of Destruction world, it is like a small witch seeing a great witch. On this vast expanse of white land stands a towering tree impressively. The whole body of the big tree presents colorful colors, just like a flowing rainbow, beautiful and magnificent. The diameter of its trunk is comparable to the diameter of the Milky Way, and the dense branches and leaves that cover the sky and the sun stretch out in all directions, exuding endless divine power and sacred aura. Suddenly, a purple space vortex appeared in this white space that seemed to have been undisturbed for hundreds of millions of years. The figures of Kahn and Grand Priest then emerged. Then, Kahn was shocked by this dreamlike space. In particular, the colorful giant tree with a trunk of more than 100,000 light-years shocked Kahn's visual nerves to pieces. "Master Grand Priest, here is after a long time." Kahn came back to his senses and asked. Grand Priest introduced, "As you can see, this is the Angel Realm, and the tree in front of you is called the Angel Tree, and all universe angels are born from this tree. By the way, this angel world was opened up by me, and the Angel Tree was also cultivated by me." "What?" Kahn directly had a black question mark on his face. "Damn it, you told me that you opened up this space so rich in divine power, and that you cultivated this Angel Tree, which is bigger than the Milky Way." Such a terrifying handwriting. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, Kahn wouldn't even believe it. Until this moment, Kahn was able to intimately feel how terrifying the strength of the Grand Priest is. In the eyes of Grand Priest, my own strength is probably not even an ant. The #1 powerhouse in the universe. Well deserved. Seeing Kahn's surprised face, Grand Priest smiled slightly and said, "Mr. Kahn, please come with me. The divine power of the great Gods of Destruction staff should be fully recovered." Finished. With both hands on his back, Grand Priest flew straight towards the Angel Tree. Kahn ignored the shock and hurriedly followed. Coming under the trunk of the Angel Tree, Kahn looked up and saw 5 human-sized fruits hanging impressively on an inconspicuous branch stretching out hundreds of meters above. There are colorful colors flowing on the fruit, showing his extraordinary. Seeing Kahn staring at the 5 fruits, Grand Priest explained, This is the angel who fell asleep in the past because Zeno cleared the 6 universes. One of them has awakened and is currently working as a guide angel in the 6th universe. I think Mr. Kahn should know it. Kahn nodded and thoughtfully said, Alice, I know you. Looking away, Kahn asked, Master Grand Priest, what about my great staff of Gods of Destruction? Grand Priest smiled slightly, then stretched out his hand and waved lightly. I saw a colorful vortex suddenly appearing on the trunk, and the big purple gold staff of Gods of Destruction slowly emerged. Compared to last time, the purple gold light blooming on the big Gods of Destruction staff became more dazzling. Moreover, Kahn could also clearly feel the faint divine power emanating from the large Gods of Destruction staff. Obviously he was deceived several times over. As soon as the large Gods of Destruction staff appeared, it was automatically swept into Kahn's hand. Holding the big Gods of Destruction staff again, Kahn suddenly felt a surge of excitement. And this time, there was a real connection between him and the staff. Mr. Kahn, how are you feeling? Grand Priest chuckled. Well, I'm not too good to say. It's just that there seems to be some kind of connection between me and the staff. Kahn mused. This is normal because the staff has recognized the owner, so you will feel this way. Grand Priest said, from now on, you can use this big Gods of Destruction staff as you like. The staff has many functions and superpowers. It has all the staffs of angels and other dragon gods. Salama will teach you. Well, I see. Kahn nodded and then briefly tested the power of the large Gods of Destruction staff, such as projection, call, healing, resurrection, creation and destruction, and viewing any place in each universe or some past deeds, etc. These are relatively basic abilities of the great Gods of Destruction staff. Of course, the staff can also be used in combat. At a deeper level, it takes time to study it slowly, maybe let the dragon god Salama teach it. After all, Kahn is also using the large Gods of Destruction staff for the first time, and he is not yet familiar with all the abilities of the staff. After Kahn finished trying the ability of the great Gods of Destruction staff, Grand Priest continued, Mr. Kahn, next you need to go to the Dragon God realm, and then the Dragon God Salama will teach you to repair Gods of Destruction's exclusive powers and moves, and of course things like the responsibilities of the big Gods of Destruction. Kahn nodded. There was just one thing he didn't understand very well, so he asked, Master Grand Priest, so do I need to stay in Dragon God realm for a while? That's not necessarily the case. Grand Priest said, as long as you have this big Gods of Destruction staff, then the Dragon God Salama is your attendant, just like the relationship between Angel and Gods of Destruction. Of course, you can also bring the Dragon God Salama back to the Earth of the 7th universe to practice. When the Dragon God Salama feels that you are ready to serve as the great Gods of Destruction, then he will bring you to Zeno's palace, and Zeno will personally grant you are the Gods of Destruction paused. Grand Priest added, however, I personally recommend that you cultivate the exclusive power of Gods of Destruction in the Dragon God realm. After all, the divine power of heaven and earth in the Dragon God realm is not weaker than that in the Angel realm, and the effect of practicing there is better. Of course, it mainly depends on your personal wishes. If you are not in a hurry to take up the position of the great Gods of Destruction, you can also return to Earth and let the Dragon God Salama slowly teach you. I'm just giving you a suggestion. It's up to you how to choose. Kahn nodded solemnly. I see immediately. Kahn quickly said to the system in his heart, System, sign in at the Angel world. Kahn reckoned that Grand Priest was about to send him to Dragon God realm at this moment, so he signed in quickly. Otherwise, maybe I won't have the chance to come to the Angel world again in the future. The special rewards for signing up in the big Gods of Destruction world are immortality and advanced self-intention. I wonder what the special rewards for signing up in the Angel world will be. According to Kahn's guess, it might be something like Angel's calendar, whatever it is. No matter how bad it is, it shouldn't be much worse. Ding exclamation as soon as the voice fell, the system's electronic prompt sounded in Kahn's mind. The host signs in the angel world and gets a special reward factory. Chapter 131 Energy Sublimation, brand new attribute panel. Arrive at Dragon God Realm. Chapter 131 Dragon God Realm. Lord Kahn, I have been waiting for you for a long time. The host signs in the angel world and gets special rewards. Energy sublimation, 800 points of God's domain. What are these things? Kahn was at a loss. I don't understand the rewards for signing in the angel world. I still have a little understanding of energy sublimation, but what is this 800-point God's domain value? Immediately, the system explained it to Kahn in detail. Energy sublimation, as the name suggests, is to sublimate the ordinary energy in Kahn's body into divine energy. That is, the spirit of gods such as gods of destruction and angel. After sublimation, Kahn's power will be improved by about 20% compared to now, and Kahn's soul will also be sublimated into the soul of God. The lifespan will be determined by its own strength. As for the 800-point God's domain value, it's actually easy to understand. It is the 310 strength of the energy of God's Kai, which is equivalent to the energy calculation method such as human combat power. The strength of gods such as gods of destruction and angel is calculated by the value of the domain of gods understood. After listening to the system's explanation, Kahn finally figured it out. From this point of view, the special rewards for signing up in the angel world are quite good. Of course, this is Kahn's preliminary speculation, because he still doesn't know how strong the 800-point God's domain value is. Mr. Kahn, without further ado, I will send you to Dragon God Realm now. Grand Priest's voice rang from beside his ears, pulling Kahn back from his thoughts when speaking. The Grand Priest has opened a passage for Kahn to the Dragon God Realm. This is a purple space vortex, and the other end of the vortex is the Dragon God Realm. Grand Priest said, enter from here, reach the other end and come out is the Dragon God Realm. Thank you, Grand Priest. Kahn nodded slightly and then said goodbye to Grand Priest. Then tapped on the toes and swept straight into the purple space vortex. Entering the purple space vortex, a long space channel appeared in front of Kahn. Kahn didn't know how long it would take to reach the Dragon God Realm, so taking advantage of this time, Kahn fusion sublimated its energy. Sublimate your own ordinary energy to the spirit of God. After the successful sublimation, Kahn could clearly feel that his strength had greatly improved compared to before. The needle doesn't poke. After tasting the sweetness of energy sublimation, Kahn hurriedly fusioned the 800 points of God's domain. After fusion gained the 800 points of God's domain, Kahn realized how terrifying these 800 points of God's domain are. His promotion is beyond comparison. Vistras. What the hell is this thing? Is it so fierce? Clenching his fists, Kahn was stunned to feel the sea-like terrifying divine energy in his body. Scared, Kahn quickly opened the Properties panel. Host, Kahn. Age, 47 years old. Bloodline, the legendary Super Saiyan bloodline. Domain value of God, 1024 points. Skills, breath control, flying technique, instant transmission, self-intention, flash time, space annihilation cannon, infinite energy 1024 points of God's domain value. Kahn scratched his head, a little puzzled. So what kind of strength is this? Kahn is not too clear about how strong 1024 points of God's domain is. The only thing he can be sure of is that his current strength has made a qualitative leap compared to just now. Returning to the host, Angel Vados' divine realm value is about 850 points. You can use it as a reference. That is to say, my current strength is already stronger than Angel. Yes. Kettle. Kahn grinned. The trip to the angel world was worth it. Although his strength was far superior to Gods of Destruction before, there is still a certain strength gap between him and Angel. Now, his strength has even surpassed Vados. Although the strength has surpassed Vados, Kahn is not satisfied with the status quo. If he wants to take the position of great gods of destruction, his strength must be far beyond this. And after seeing the strength of Grand Priest just now, Kahn also deeply realized that his strength is just a drop in the ocean in front of Grand Priest, the #1 powerhouse in the universe. He still has a long way to go. With such a mood in mind, after more than 10 minutes, Kahn finally came to the exit at the other end through the space passage. What catches the eye is a world like a paradise. Looking at it at a glance, it is a scene of lush greenery, full of vitality, and everything bursting out. A lush green jungle surrounded by a sea of purple flowers. There are many unknown fruit trees in the jungle, exuding a sacred atmosphere. All kinds of birds stay on the branches of the fruit trees, and the chirping birds can be heard endlessly. Butterflies and bees shuttle through the sea of flowers, and the scene outlines a beautiful landscape painting the language of flowers, the fragrance of flowers, and a fair land on earth are not enough to describe this pleasing and beautiful scene. And in the middle of the sea of flowers, there is a dazzling golden palace. The style of the golden palace is very similar to the great Gods of Destruction palace, but this golden palace is not very big, covering an area of only about 1,000 square meters, and its height is only a dozen meters. Compared to the almost endless sea of purple flowers, it is hardly worth mentioning. However, above this golden palace exudes a majestic aura, as well as a trembling dragon power. In the sea of flowers in front of the palace gate, there is a magnificent woman squatting on the ground, slowly picking purple flowers. She wears a dragon crown on her head, but she seems to wear very little. Even from a long distance, Kahn can clearly see her pair of jade arms and fragrant shoulders that are as white as snow and can be broken by blows. Hush! A gust of wind blew by, setting off her 3,000 black hairs that were as black as ink and fluttering in the wind. Since she was squatting on the ground, Kahn couldn't see what she looked like for the time being. But what is certain is that this woman who seems to be integrated with the sea of flowers must be the legendary dragon god Salama. This is Kahn's conclusion after attending the Gods of Destruction Summit and the information he got from Wise. Immediately, Kahn withdrew his mind and landed slowly in front of the palace gate, 10 meters away from the woman squatting in the sea of flowers. Seemingly aware of Kahn's arrival, she also stood up from the sea of flowers. I saw her 4.0 holding a bouquet of purple flowers exuding a charming floral fragrance, and her impeccable oval face was like a perfect work of God. Those delicate red lips made people feel an urge to go up and take a bite. Her eyes are a pair of golden phoenix eyes, which faintly exude a supreme dragon power. Just this white, flawless, impeccably perfect oval face, her aloof aura emanating from the invisible, and the dragon crown on her head. Kahn can only be described in one word: peerless. Even though Kahn has seen many things in the world, she is still attracted by her heaven-defying appearance and magnificent temperament. For a while, Kahn was actually immersed in her unparalleled appearance and couldn't extricate herself. Just when Kahn was intoxicated by her heaven-defying appearance, her red lips parted slightly, and the ethereal voice of Yuji sounded softly. Master Kahn, I have been waiting for you for a long time. Chapter 132 God and -039's Realm Ranking. Great Power of Gods of Destruction. Chapter 132 God's Realm Value Ranking. Great Power of Gods of Destruction. Master Kahn, do I look good? You stare at me like this. Seeing that Kahn hadn't recovered yet, she continued to speak. Only then did Kahn come back to his senses. He let out a tactical cough to relieve the awkward atmosphere, and then said, "Excuse me, are you the Dragon Ball Salama who created the Super Dragon Ball?" Salama nodded lightly and said, "Could it be that my voice is no longer audible? I heard it. I just want to confirm it. Wouldn't it be embarrassing if I got it wrong?" Kahn chuckled and laughed, talking. Kahn's eyes subconsciously moved down slightly. Salama's slender and sexy big white legs almost blinded Kahn's eyes. Cough, cough. In good conscience, this is definitely not what Kahn saw on purpose. It's that Salama really wears too little. She just wears a simple white dress, so simple that if you say a few more words, this chapter will be reviewed and locked in a small black room. For Salama, clothes and such seem a bit redundant. Maybe it's her alone. No. A dragon has been in this dragon god realm for a long time, so the dressing is much simpler. May I ask that a pair of slender legs that are as white as snow are standing in front of you? Can you resist looking at them? However, Salama didn't seem to care about this aspect. She opened her red lips lightly and said, Master Kahn can come to the dragon god realm. I think the Grand Priest has restored the divine power of the great gods of destruction staff to its peak. Kahn nodded. Then, let Kahn let me in first. Salama turned around and walked towards the palace, and the bouquet in her hand also turned into countless colorful light spots, sprinkled on the sea of flowers. Entering the palace, it is a bright and magnificent hall. With a light tap of Salama's hand, 2 dragon chairs flashed out. Salama waved her hand, signaling Kahn to sit first. My view is that Lord Kahn already possesses the soul of a god. In this way, it will be much easier to cultivate Gods of Destruction's exclusive power and moves. Salama blinked her beautiful eyes and saw through Kahn's details at a glance. This did not surprise Kahn. After all, being able to create super Shenrons who can fulfill any wish, Salama's strength may not be weaker than Grand Priest only Salama. What is the exclusive power of the so-called great gods of destruction? Asked Kahn. Master Kahn, don't you understand? Let me explain to you. Salama said succinctly, in this world, power is also divided into grades. The power of my dragon god and the power of the great angel of the Grand Priest are the first rank, and the power of angel is the second rank. Gods of gods, the destructive energy of destruction is the third sequence, and the energy of human beings is the fourth sequence. Kahn nodded thoughtfully, then asked, Where's E? Zeno is a special existence. He is not in the sequence of power levels. Salama said, Master Kahn, what you want to practice is the exclusive energy belonging to the great gods of destruction, and the exclusive energy of the great gods of destruction is the first sequence, also known as the power of the great gods of destruction. As if afraid that Kahn would not understand, Salama added another sentence. The power of the first sequence is stronger than those of the lower ranks, and has a suppression effect. From the second sequence, there is no suppression effect. The second sequence is stronger than the third sequence only in strength and power. Understood? Hearing this, Kahn fully understood. To put it simply, it is a dimensionality reduction strike. It's good if you understand. Master Kahn can take a short rest here, and tomorrow I will start teaching you how to cultivate the power of gods of destruction. Kahn waved his hand and said, There is no rush. I have a question for you. Master Kahn, please speak. Salama waved her hand and said, Who is stronger, you or the Grand Priest? Kahn asked curiously. This is also the question he has been trying to figure out since he met Salama. Salama's golden dragon eyes blinked and said calmly, Doesn't Lord Kahn have the great gods of destruction staff? There is a clear ranking of the strength of the gods. You can check it yourself. How to check? Immediately, the dragon god Salama personally gave some guidance, and Kahn quickly called up the leaderboard of the god's color or value. To break it down further, the ranking list of the domain of gods is divided into gods of destruction and angel and the above 2 lists. This thing actually has a leaderboard. Kahn was also slightly taken aback. At the beginning, he also said what the value of the domain of gods is, but it turned out that there is a leaderboard for this thing, and he also specially distinguishes 2 lists for gods of destruction and angel and above gods. After being surprised, Kahn chose to check the gods of destruction list first. Following the refraction of a light curtain, the gods of destruction list appeared. 12th place, 11th universe gods of destruction Vermut. The domain value of god is 130 points. 11th place, 10th universe gods of destruction Rumshi. The domain of god is worth 135 points. 10th place, Second universe Gods of Destruction Beerus, the domain of God is worth 138 points. Looking all the way, as Kahn expected. Beerus and Quadrive misspoken. Beerus and Mouse Tail Juice ranked first and second respectively. Among them, Mouse Tail Juice ranked second with 195 points of God's domain, and Beerus ranked first with 199 points of God's domain. As for Kahn, certainly not on the Gods of Destruction list, because he's not Gods of Destruction at all. And because Kahn is the quasi-big Gods of Destruction, he was included in the Angel list. After watching the Gods of Destruction list, Kahn then opened the Angel list. The first thing that catches the eye is the 19th place on the Angel list in the field value list of God. 19th place, Internship Angel Myers, 462 points in the domain of God. 18th place, Angel Sawa, the second universe guide, with a value of 760 points in the domain of God. 17th place, the 10th universe guide Angel Kessie, the value of the domain of God is 765 points. I'm stupid, how did the painting style change? When it comes to the Angel list, even the intern Angel Myers God domain value has reached an astonishing 462 points, directly crushing the Gods of Destruction list. 627 when it came to the official Angel, it broke through 700. No wonder Beerus can be hit by Wise and Vados in seconds. It turns out that there is such a big gap in strength between Gods of Destruction and Angel. Gathering his mind, Yin En continued to look down. The difference in strength between angels is relatively small. Even Wise, who is ranked 8th, only has just reached 840 points in the domain of God. Vados ranked 7th with 850 points of God's domain. Although Vados and Wise are not even as good as Kahn in the domain of gods, their strength is still among the best even if you look at the 12 universe angels. The 6th place is also the strongest angel including Vados and the 12 universe guides angel. It was Angel Alice, the 6th universe guide who had just been awakened by the Grand Priest. The domain of God is worth 900 points. Alice is so strong. Kahn was also secretly surprised. After being surprised, Kahn continued to look down. There is no doubt that he is the 5th place, ranking 5th with 12,400 God's domain points. From this point of view, I seem to be stronger than Vados and the guide angel of the 12 universes. Although compared to Grand Priest and Dragon God Salama, his divine domain value is still a drop in the bucket. But for now, Kahn is also very satisfied. After all, you have to eat one bite at a time. Immediately afterwards, when the 4th place on the angel list came into view, Kahn petrified on the spot. 4th place, Zeno Guard 1, the value of the domain of God BS. Do you want to accept the Dragon God Salama? Chapter 133 I like JK, the value of the God -039's realm explodes. Chapter 133 I like JK, the value of the God's realm that explodes. 4th place, Zeno Guard 1, the value of the domain of God is 5,830 points. 3rd place, Zeno Guard 2, the value of the domain of God is 5,830 points. What the hell is this? Kahn exclaimed directly. He knew that the 2 guards beside Zeno were very strong, but he didn't expect them to be so strong. Angel, the guide who ranks lower, is not even as good as a fraction of Zeno's bodyguards. Zeno's 2 guards are so strong, so wouldn't the god domain value of Salama and Grand Priest have to exceed 10,000? Master Kahn, Zeno's 2 bodyguards are natural Protos, and they are also the bodyguards of Zeno, the supreme god of the universe, so they are naturally powerful. Salama briefly explained it to Kahn. I see. Kahn nodded thoughtfully. In fact, if you think about it carefully, it's not so difficult to understand. How can you become Zeno's personal bodyguard if you are not strong enough to protect Zeno's safety at all times? Zeno, as the supreme god of the universe, can easily clear the 12 universes with a flick of his fingers, not by his powerful power, but by the rules. Yes. Zeno's rules override everything in the universe, so he can easily wipe out the entire universe. This is also why Zeno wasn't included in the power tier. Of course, Zeno's rules are only valid for acquired gods and humans like Gods of Destruction. Like Angel and Dragon God Salama, Zeno has no way to clear them. Otherwise, if Zeno really ruled the entire universe with his absolute strength, then Grand Priest would not be called the #1 powerhouse in the entire universe. Immediately afterwards, Kahn took a deep breath and continued to look at the second place. Then, Kahn is petrified again. Second place, Dragon God Salama. The domain value of God is 99,999 plus. First place, Grand Priest. The domain value of God is 99,999 plus. This time, N was stunned. He opened his mouth wide and sat on the dragon chair in a daze, as if he had been petrified puff. The dragon god Salama, who had a cold temperament, was amused by Kahn's exaggerated reaction and covered his mouth with a smile a long time. Master Kahn hash. It wasn't until Salama softly called out that Kahn blinked his eyes and came back to his senses. I'm sorry, I lost my composure. After slightly calming down the shocked mood, Kahn showed an embarrassed yet polite smile and said. Salama waved her jade hand, expressing that it doesn't matter. Kahn let out a long breath. The heart is still shocked. He originally thought that the dragon god Salama and Grand Priest's divine realm value was only over 10,000, but it turned out to be an explosion. 99,999 plus. What is the concept of riding a horse? That is to say, this so-called God's realm ranking has failed to measure the full strength of Dragon God Salama and Grand Priest. Even after reading the leaderboard, Kahn's question remains unanswered. Because both Salama and Grand Priest's realm of God values are off the charts. Salama also seemed to see the doubts in Kahn's heart and took the initiative to answer. To be honest, the strength between me and Grand Priest is about the same. Maybe he is slightly stronger than me, but not much stronger. If I fight with him, there will be no winner. Kahn nodded slightly. While the Grand Priest is #1, Salama is #2. But the leaderboard is like queuing. Someone is always at the top and someone is always at the bottom. This is easy to understand. Immediately, Kahn pointed to the simple white dress that Salama was wearing with his eyes. By the way, do you usually wear so little? Salama raised her beautiful eyes. Master Kahn is talking about clothes. If I didn't know that Master Kahn is here today, I wouldn't want to wear this one now. This Kahn has black lines all over his head. You are leading people to crime. But for Salama, she is the only one here anyway. What does it matter if you don't wear it? In the beginning, Salama still attached great importance to her own clothes, but then she gradually realized that it doesn't matter how beautiful and sexy the clothes are. She is the only one here, and no one appreciates her beauty. And after a long time, she even felt that wearing clothes was a burden. Of course, if Master Kahn thinks this is inappropriate, you can specify a style of clothing. Hey, shall I decide? Kahn was surprised, but he can also designate Salama's clothing style. The service of this exclusive guide is a bit good. Unlike Angel, the wizard of each universe is uniformly dressed. Salama nodded and said, I wonder what kind of clothing Mr. Kahn likes. This Kahn dragged his chin and thought for a while, then solemnly said, I like water. JK. Of course. The words fell. I saw a colorful light suddenly blooming from Salama's body. A few seconds later, when the colorful light dissipated, Salama still put on a K uniform. White shirt, pink bow, and a pink plaid skirt. And a pair of black silk that just reached the thigh. It made Salama, who was originally aloof, a little more youthful. Not to mention, Salama wearing a K uniform, coupled with her unbelievably beautiful and delicate oval face, the golden dragon crown on her head, and the 3,000 black hairs pouring down like a waterfall. It looks like a different kind of beauty. High cold K uniform school flower. Probably this kind of déjà vu. Master Kahn, how is it? Are you satisfied? Kahn nodded repeatedly and said with a smile, satisfied, very satisfied. What's not to like? It's the perfect servant of his dreams. Since Master Kahn likes this style of clothing, I will wear it like this from now on. Sure. Salama pursed her lips and snickered, then said, Master Kahn, I wonder if you plan to cultivate the power of Gods of Destruction in the Dragon God realm, or how long would it take to cultivate the power of Gods of Destruction in Dragon God realm? Kahn suddenly became serious and asked. Well, it depends on Master Kahn's talent and understanding. Generally speaking, if I teach him personally in the Dragon God realm, he will be able to initially master the power of the great Gods of Destruction in about a year. Salama said in detail. Zhao Qianhao, of course, this is a conservative estimate based on my talent that is neither brilliant nor low. It depends on Master Kahn's understanding. If Master Kahn's talent and understanding are high, it's not impossible in just a few months. After initially grasping the power of the great Gods of Destruction, Lord Kahn's strength should be greatly improved. At this time, he can officially take the position of the great Gods of Destruction. After taking the position of the great Gods of Destruction, Lord Kahn can gradually improve in the future own great power of Gods of Destruction. Is that so? Kahn dragged his chin, pondered for a while, and quickly made a decision. Then cultivate the power of the great Gods of Destruction in the Dragon God realm. Work the heaven and earth. Divine power in the Dragon God realm is too strong, no less than the heaven and earth divine power in the Angel realm. If he cultivates here, Kahn can probably imagine that his strength will improve by leaps and bounds. Moreover, cultivating the power of Gods of Destruction in Dragon God realm is faster than outside. This is the main reason why Kahn chose to stay. As for Vados and the others, I just need to inform them later. Chapter 134 Dance with Salama. I can fulfill any of your wishes. Chapter 134 Dance with Salama. I can fulfill any of your wishes. Magnum Capsule Company. Okay. I see, husband, you can just practice there. After speaking, Vados ended the call with Kahn. Sister Vados, what did your husband just say? Bulma asked hastily. That's it. Vados explained to Bulma and 18th that Kahn would practice in the Dragon God realm for several months to a year. In this regard, Bulma and No. 18 have no objections. Dragon God realm. It was night now. Salama arranged for Kahn a room by the window on the second floor of the palace. Looking out of the window, you can see the endless sea of purple flowers, and there is a lake not far away, sparkling under the moonlight. When Kahn was bored and looked out the window, he discovered that Salama, who was wearing a JK uniform, was dancing in the sea of flowers. Salama has a graceful figure and a beautiful appearance. Under the moonlight, Salama's graceful dancing posture attracted more than a dozen butterflies to dance with her, making Salama look like a peerless fairy coming out of a painting. For a moment, Kahn was immersed in Salama's graceful dance. Anyway, there is nothing to do for the time being, and it is also a kind of enjoyment to appreciate Salama's dancing posture. I do not know how long it has been. Salama finally finished her dance, and then the golden dragon looked at Kahn upstairs with 800 eyes, and her lips parted lightly. Master Kahn, do you like dancing too? It's okay, the main thing is that you look good. Kahn smiled slightly. Salama smiled slightly, and the world was overshadowed at this moment. Immediately, Salama sent an invitation to Kahn. Can Master Kahn dance? How about dancing with me? It's okay to dance together for a while, but the problem is that I can't. Kahn spread his hands. It is definitely a great joy in life to be able to dance with Salama, but it is a pity that I can't dance. I saw Salama stretched out her slender hands and said with a light smile, This is not a problem, Mr. Kahn, I can teach you. Now that Salama has said so, Kahn is not hypocritical and appears in front of Salama in a blink of an eye. Then he lightly grasped Salama's slender hand, and a tender and smooth touch hit, making Kahn's heart beat suddenly faster. Just don't think I'm stupid later. Salama smiled subtly and said, "It's okay, I have been entertaining myself alone for hundreds of millions of years, and it would be nice to have someone to dance with me now." "Okay, then come on then. There is one more person CJBG dancing under the moonlight." Salama taught Kahn very patiently. For dancing, N is still a bit talented. After some guidance from Salama, Kahn was able to catch up with her in no time the next day. Salama officially began to teach Kahn to repair the power of Gods of Destruction. "There is a beautiful woman like Salama teaching me to practice, and she is also wearing a K uniform." Kahn's cultivation motivation is instantly full. The so-called power of the great gods of destruction is to sublimate the energy in the body again. Under the guidance of Salama, Kahn discovered that when he practiced the power of the great gods of destruction in the Dragon God realm, he could actually use the endless divine power in his body. The endless divine power derived from Super Shenron's wish-making ability is exactly the power of the Dragon God then. With the blessing of the endless power of the Dragon God in his body and the rich power of heaven and earth in the world of Dragon Gods, the divine energy in Kahn's body is sublimated into the power of Gods of Destruction with the force of lightning. Every piece of divine energy was sublimated into the power of Gods of Destruction, and Kahn could clearly feel his strength soaring rapidly. After just 1 month, Kahn sublimated all the divine energy in his body into the power of the great gods of destruction. Kahn also soared in strength. The value of the domain of gods has soared from the original 1024 points to the value of the domain of gods of the Lord of 10 Directions with 1,000 points. Compared with a month ago, it has directly increased by more than 10 times. Even the dragon god Salama, who existed before the universe was born, was amazed by Kahn's outstanding understanding and talent. If the power of the dragon god is more creative, then the power of the great gods of destruction is the ultimate destructive power, the upper version of the destructive energy called Gods of Destruction. Now Kahn can easily destroy 10 universes with just a single blow. This is the terrifying badness of the great power. After cultivating the power of Gods of Destruction, Salama taught Kahn to practice the exclusive moves of Gods of Destruction Destroy. Yes, it's the kind of destruction of 12 universe Gods of Destruction. It can fundamentally destroy a person's existence from this world. And the destruction of the big Gods of Destruction is more overbearing than the destruction of ordinary Gods of Destruction. Kahn learned this move in just 2 hours after this. Salama explained to Kahn in detail the responsibilities of the great gods of destruction. Simply put, it is to manage the 12 universe gods of destruction, and it is more free than the gods of destruction. Gods of destruction also has to observe the survival of the fittest among the humans on each planet, but gods of destruction doesn't need it at all. The responsibility of the great gods of destruction is only to manage gods of destruction, and has the power to revoke and appoint gods of destruction. Here, Salama suggested that Kahn go to the Zeno Palace and officially assume the position of the great gods of destruction. As for the power of the great gods of destruction, it can be gradually improved through practice after taking office. But Kahn said that he was not in a hurry, so he practiced in Dragon God realm for another half a year. After half a year, Kahn's divine domain value has already broken through the 50,000 mark. During the 7 months in the Dragon God realm, besides practicing every day, Salama would invite Kahn to dance together after the practice every day. Kahn naturally had no reason to refuse. And this is also his only way of entertainment in Dragon God realm. After working hard all day, there must be some entertainment to relax, right? After going back and forth, the relationship and feelings between Kahn and Salama also heated up rapidly. After 7 months of practice, Salama invited Kahn to dance a tango. After dancing the tango, Kahn and Salama lay down in the sea of flowers, enjoying the few relaxing moments. Looking up at the sky of Dragon God realm, Kahn suddenly said, "Salama, you have been in Dragon God realm for hundreds of millions of years. Don't you feel bored?" "Lord Kahn, what Tao said." Salama's ethereal Yuji voice is extremely captivating. It is inevitable to be bored, and thank you Lord Kahn for being here with me for 7 months. These 7 months are the most fulfilling days I have spent in billions of years. Kahn smiled noncommittally and said, "It's not just 7 months." "Yes." Salama blinked her beautiful golden eyes. 7 months is just the beginning, and she will be by Kahn's side all the time as Gods of Destruction's exclusive servant. Her future days will no longer be so lonely and boring as in the past billions of years. After a pause, Salama said, "Master Kahn, you are the first Gods of Destruction since the universe was born. Why don't I give you a greeting gift? Do you have any wishes? I can fulfill any of your wishes." Chapter 135. See Gods of Destruction Kahn, Lord. See Chapter 135, Lord Gods of Destruction Kahn. Wish. Kahn smiled lightly and said, "I don't have any wishes to fulfill right now." "Then save it for now. Let's talk about when Master Kahn has a wish that he wants to realize also." Since Salama wanted to give herself a meeting gift, Kahn was naturally not hypocritical. Now he really doesn't have any wishes to realize, but that doesn't mean he won't have any in the future the next day. Kahn finally ended his practice in Dragon God realm. Salama directly contacted the Grand Priest. "Grand Priest, the healing gods are already available in the great Gods of Destruction." In the light curtain, Grand Priest nodded slightly and said, "In that case, then I trouble you to come to Zeno's palace with Kahn." Ended the call. Salama said to Kahn, "Master Kahn, shall we set off now?" "Then let's go." Zeno Palace. Hearing that Kahn is ready to take the role of Gods of Destruction, the happiest thing is Zeno. He danced with his arms and legs and smiled innocently. "I'm really looking forward to Kahn's arrival." Grand Priest also said with a smile, "I believe Salama will bring Kahn here soon." After a few minutes, a colorful space vortex appeared in the main hall of Zeno Palace. Kahn showed up in Zeno Palace with Salama in water uniform. "Kahn, you are here. I have been waiting for you for a long time." Zeno greeted him immediately and said enthusiastically. Kahn also smiled and said, "Long time no see, Quanzhong." "Then call all the gods now," Grand Priest said. In this regard, Zeno expressed no opinion. He couldn't wait to officially confer on Kahn the title of Gods of Destruction. Afterwards, Grand Priest contacted the angels with his staff, announcing that Kahn will officially assume the position of Grand Gods of Destruction. 7th Universe. Oh, isn't Shenron finally going to take the post of Gods of Destruction? When receiving the notification from Grand Priest, Wise was slightly surprised. It's only been 8 months since the end of the Tournament of Power, but Kahn has already learned the power of the great Gods of Destruction and is about to assume the position of the great Gods of Destruction. This speed is unexpected by Wise, but now, Wise can't be allowed to think so much. He hurried back to the Palace of Gods of Destruction to wake up the sleeping Beerus. Beerus rubbed his eyes in a daze and said unhappily, "Wise, didn't I tell you many times, don't disturb me when I'm sleeping?" "Oh ho 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 ho." Wise smiled gloatingly and said, "Master Beerus, I'm afraid that from today on, your days of sleeping in will be gone forever." "Why?" Beerus, who just woke up, was still a little confused and didn't realize the meaning of Wise's words. Master Grand Priest just came to inform that Lord Kahn is about to take office as the Grand Gods of Destruction. Let us get ready, go to the Zeno Hall to attend the ceremony of Lord Kahn assuming the appointment of the Grand Gods of Destruction. As soon as Wise said this. "What did you say?" Beerus, who was still sleepy just now, catapults to the start in an instant, hitting several big holes in the wall before falling back in front of Wise. With a horrified expression, he said, "Master Kahn is about to take over as the Grand Gods of Destruction?" Wise nodded. Quick, where are my clothes?" Beerus didn't dare to neglect at all, quickly changed into Gods of Destruction's clothes, and hurriedly followed Wise out of the Gods of Destruction Palace. 6th Universe. Champa was having breakfast, and Alice, who had just received the notification from Grand Priest, said with a serious expression, "Master Champa, Master Grand Priest has a very important message." "What?" Champa stuffed the whole dinosaur egg into his mouth and said vaguely, Master Kahn is about to take office as the Grand Gods of Destruction. Let's go to Zeno Palace to gather immediately. Puff. As soon as Alice finished speaking, Champa squirted out the dinosaur egg that had just been stuffed into her mouth. He said in a panic, Quick, Alice, we'll get ready right away. After the Gods of Destruction of the other 12 universes heard the news that Kahn was going to be appointed as the chief Gods of Destruction, they all dropped what they were doing and assembled as quickly as possible. For a while, many Gods of Destruction were worried. Especially those whose average human level is lower than others, are even more panic-stricken. Before, there was no direct leader in charge of them, so they could live a lazy and comfortable life. After today, their good days may be coming to an end. As the saying goes, there are 3 fires for a new official to take office. A lot of Gods of Destruction can be expected. Kahn's first fire after taking office as the big Gods of Destruction must be to take those lazy and inactive Gods of Destruction. Ask for flowers after the Grand Priest informs the Gods of the 12 universe. Zeno Palace sighed. Kahn and Zeno are also ready. When all the Gods of the 12 universes had assembled, the Grand Priest opened his hands and said loudly, All the Gods, come down. Whoosh! The voice fell with the Grand Priest. The Gods of Destruction, Supreme Kai, and Wizard Angel of the 12 universes descended on Zeno Palace. The Gods of the 1st to 6th, 7th to 12th universes face each other in 2 rows. Both Gods of Destruction and Supreme Kai knelt on one knee, looking tense. Angel, the guide of their respective universes, stood behind them with a serious expression. And in front of the gods, Kahn stood shoulder to shoulder with Zeno. Today, I am very glad that everyone can come here to participate in the appointment ceremony of Kahn's inaugural Gods of Destruction. Without further ado, let's start now. Immediately, Zeno faced Kahn, smiled and said, Kahn, now I officially grant you the post of Gods of Destruction, and warmly welcome you to be one of us. The words fell. Zeno held his small hand and a white light bloomed. Then a white light enveloped Kahn from overhead. At this moment, Kahn could clearly feel a sacred aura enveloping him, and his divine soul was sublimated again at this moment. Immediately afterwards, Kahn's orange training suit changed into a purple gold Anubis-style costume at a speed visible to the naked eye. That is an upgraded version of the Gods of Destruction costume. After finishing all this, Zeno said excitedly with a small face, Okay, Kahn, now you are due to Gods of Destruction. Hey, so fast. Kahn raised his eyebrows in surprise, feeling as if he had just changed his clothes, and the soul of God had been sublimated. But after thinking about it carefully, Salama had already taught him the power of the great Gods of Destruction, and he had also fully explained the duties and powers of the great Gods of Destruction. The great Gods of Destruction staff has also recognized its owner. Isn't it just a matter of official appointment? Immediately, on a whim, Kahn stretched out his hand, and the big Gods of Destruction staff flashed out. Then tap lightly. Boom! A muffled sound containing supreme coercion came out, and the gods immediately stood in awe, with expressions of awe. See the Great Gods of Destruction Kahn. Chapter 136 Dad brought a woman back. Still the one in JK uniform. Chapter 136 Dad brought a woman back. She was still wearing a K uniform. After the inauguration ceremony, Kahn chatted with Zeno for a few more words, and then left with the dragon god Salama. Outside Zeno Palace, Salama asked, Master Kahn, are you going back to the Gods of Destruction world next? Big Gods of Destruction world. No rush. Kahn looked at the pillar representing the 7th universe outside the Zeno Palace and said, Let's go back to the 7th universe first. Yes, Master Kahn. Immediately. With a light wave of Salama's jade hand, a 7-color space vortex emerged. Kahn stepped forward and stepped into the colorful space vortex, followed by Salama appearing again. It was in the compound of the Magnum Capsule Company. What? As soon as Kahn and Salama appeared, Lades on the platform on the second floor noticed it immediately. Seeing that his father had returned, Lades immediately said 797 in surprise, "Mom, Dad is back." "Hey, Dad brought a woman back. The one in JK uniform." "What?" Hearing this, Bulma and No. 18 stared at each other. Could it be that Kahn has gone fooling around again? They immediately ran all the way to the edge of the platform on the second floor and looked down, and they saw Salama standing beside Kahn in a JK uniform. Salama has a graceful figure, a beautiful face, a cold temperament, and a peerless elegance. In front of Salama, Bulma and No. 18 were ashamed of themselves all. Vados' willow eyebrows are also slightly raised. "Sister Vados, do you know this woman?" Bulma folded his hands on his chest and said sourly, "Didn't you say to practice? Why did you bring a woman back?" This Vados looked at Salama carefully, shook his head and said, "I don't know her either, but she is not an ordinary person. If I read correctly, she should also be a god. Bulma and number 18 immediately opened their mouths in surprise. "Mom, does God wear a K uniform?" Rads wondered. Vados shook his head again. "Bulma, number 18, since God doesn't wear K's uniform, then you say she is God? Father is still amazing." Lin Yu also followed and said with sincere admiration, "There are already 3 wives who look like gods in the family, and this time they went out and brought another woman back. Look at him again." Not to mention, besides, Lin Yu felt that he had lost Kahn's face. "Xiaoyu." Bulma glared at Lin Yu and said without hesitation, "You must never learn from your father in the future, you know. Hashashgolan Lin Yu can't learn even if he wants to. Even Caulifla was taught by Kahn and even assisted him to get it done. By the way, why did my husband change into such a strange outfit?" At this time, No. 18 suddenly said. Vados narrowed his eyes slightly and guessed, "My husband's clothes are very similar to those of Gods of Destruction. I guess he should have officially become a big Gods of Destruction." "So, Dad has become a god?" Rads said excitedly. "It should be. You will know later when you ask him call out." Just as Vados and others were discussing, Kahn took Salama to a teleport and appeared on the platform on the second floor. "Dad, introduce us to your new woman." Lades turned his head and said impatiently. Kahn tilted his head, and a big question mark popped up on his forehead. "What the hell, introducing a woman? Stop pretending. We all know that the person next to you must be your new love." Bulma had a straight face, and the word jealous was almost written on his face. "What?" Kahn was even more confused. Salama was also amused by Bulma. "Dad, don't pretend you brought them home. Can Mom and the 2 aunts disagree?" Lades also watched the excitement and didn't think it was a big deal. Kahn, some Oa. Now Kahn understood what they meant. Bulma and Lades probably think that Salama is their new love woman. Kahn thinks the problem is that the time is not yet ripe. It will take a while to conquer Salama. At this moment, Vados stepped forward suddenly. His eyes fell on Salama and said, "I think you should be the legendary dragon god, Lord Salama." "You're right, Angel Vados." Salama bowed her head lightly and said in a melodious voice, "I visited you before you were born." After confirming Salama's identity, Vados immediately stood in awe, bowed slightly and said, "Angel Vados, I have met Lord Dragon God Salama." What? Seeing this scene, Bulma, Lades and the others would not be able to deal with it. At this time, Salama just explained, "I think you have misunderstood. My name is Salama, and I am the attendant of Lord Gods of Destruction." Fearing that Bulma and the others would not understand, Vados added, "The relationship between Lord Salama and her husband is actually similar to the relationship between Gods of Destruction and Angel." What? Bulma was taken aback for a moment, then showed an awkward yet polite smile, and said, "Haha, Miss Salama, we misunderstood just now." "So this is Number 18 was also relieved. She thought Kahn had another woman. In contrast, Lades seemed a little disappointed. She was about to eat a melon just now, and now that it's done, she thought the melon was in her mouth, but it turned out to be a fake. The misunderstanding was resolved, and Kahn introduced Salama to Bulma and others. For Kahn's family, Salama is also more enthusiastic. Afterwards, Vados asked, "Husband, since you have officially become the great gods of destruction, I think your strength has surpassed mine now." Master Kahn's current divine domain value is 54,800 points. Before Kahn spoke, Salama took the lead in answering for him. 554,800. Vados was stunned on the spot. "Mom, how strong is that?" Rads asked quietly. Vados explained, "My god's domain value is only a fraction of your father's." Oh my god. Hearing this, Lades was also stunned. Her current strength is not as good as a finger of her mother Vados, but Vados' strength of 3.8 is only a fraction of Kahn. Kahn spread his hands. In fact, this trip to the Dragon God realm improved his strength so much, which was beyond Kahn's expectation. But there is no need to say more about these things, and immediately Kahn changed the subject and said, "Wife, you can talk to Salama for a while. I will go find my father talking." Kahn got up and walked towards the first floor. In the living room on the first floor, Burdock and Jin were sitting on the couch watching TV. In the past, Burdock rarely had the opportunity to get along with his wife because he was away from home all year round. With this resurrection, he didn't have to fight around anymore, so Burdock wanted to make up for Jin. Kahn walked down the stairs. "Dad, Mom, I didn't bother you." "Hey, Kahn, why did you become like this?" Looking at Kahn, who was wearing a purple and gold Anubis-like costume, Jin exclaimed, Chapter 137. I also heard the wish you made to Shenron Trombo back then. Chapter 137. I also heard the wish you made to Shenron Trombo back then. Second floor platform. Looking at Salama in a youthful K uniform, Vados' three views will be subverted. She really couldn't imagine that the legendary dragon god, Lord Salama, would wear a JK uniform. "Master Salama, why are you wearing a JK uniform?" Vados raised his own doubts. Lades and the others also nodded in agreement. They also couldn't imagine that the legendary dragon god Salama, who created the Super Dragon Ball, was actually wearing a K uniform. It was requested by Master Kahn. Salama briefly explained the ins and outs of the matter. Then, Vados, Bulma, and number 18 were stunned. They have slept with Kahn for so many years, and they don't even know that Kahn likes JK uniforms. "Hey, Dad still likes this style." Lades was amazed. "Ladies, didn't you give Mrs. Kahn a uniform?" Salama also felt a little curious. Logically speaking, this shouldn't be the case. However, Vados, Bulma, and No. 18 shook their heads in unison. 29. They really don't know that Kahn actually likes K uniforms then. The three of Vados secretly made a decision in their hearts at the same time. In the living room on the first floor. After learning why Kahn wore this purple gold Anubis-style costume, Jin was also proud of Kahn. Her second son is more promising than she imagined back then. Because according to the origin of Kahn's junior fighters, if there is no accident, they will definitely be dispatched to the frontier in the future. But because of the destruction of Planet Vegeta that year, Kahn's life was changed. This is also something that Jin never expected from the beginning to the end. "Mom, let's not talk about this. I have something to tell Dad." "Okay, you two talk first. I'll go find Bulma," and the others finished. Jin got up and went up to the second floor. After Jin left, Kahn turned to the topic. "Dad, do you still remember Cyril?" Star Cyril. Burdock recalled carefully. "I remembered that when we were still under the Frieza army, we did invade this planet." Because of that incident back then, Burdock had a deep impression of Cyril. Otherwise, Burdock would not be able to recall at all, because there are too many planets he has invaded. "When the planet Cyril was invaded back then, I saved a mother and son. Unfortunately, I didn't protect his mother and was killed by Sita's bastards," Burdock said blankly. But in his tone, there was a trace of regret and self-sufficiency. He could have saved it along with Granola and his mother, but in the end he miscalculated. Immediately, Burdock looked at Kahn, wondering, how do you know about Cyril? If he remembered correctly, Kahn was only 2 years old when he invaded Cyril, and he was still in the nursery cabin. Kahn smiled and said, before I revived you, I traveled back in time to the planet Cyril more than 40 years ago and witnessed that incident back then. I also heard the wish you made to Shenron Trombo back then. That's it, Burdock said with a faint smile. It seems that my wish that I made back then has come true. Kahn nodded. Indeed. After experiencing the destruction of Planet Vegeta, whether it is Kahn, Kakarot, or Raditz has grown up. It's just that Raditz killed himself later. What happened to the little boy I rescued back then? Have you gone to see it? Asked Burdock. No. Kahn shook his head. Calculated. If he is still alive, he should be as old as you by now. Kahn said. That's true. Do you want to go to Cyril again? I think he should have grown up. Maybe he will hate you and Cyan because of Sita heard the words. Burdock nodded thoughtfully. According to Sita's urine, if they didn't kill Granola, they would indeed misinterpret the facts of the year to Granola only. He should have hated Cyan. It was us Cyan who destroyed his homeland. Burdock said, if he is still alive, I want to apologize to him. I did not protect his mother back then. This incident was also a regret for Burdock back then. In that case, let's go to Cyril. Kahn made an immediate offer. In this regard, Burdock said no objection. It just so happens that he also wants to thank the old man Monet back then. If it weren't for the wish he made to Shenron Trombo back then, his children might not be able to thrive subsequently. Kahn and Burdock came to the second-floor platform, and the second-floor platform, where there was a burst of laughter, fell silent instantly. What were you talking about just now? Kahn glanced at Vados and the others. He seemed to have heard some strange topics just now. What, JK, bunny girl or something? There's nothing to talk about. Vados explained without blushing. Kahn nodded, and now he didn't have the heart to ask so many questions, so he turned to Salama and said, Salama, let's go to Cyril. Yes, Master Kahn. Salama greeted Vados and others and then got up. Hearing that Kahn said they were going to Cyril, and with Burdock next to Kahn, Vados probably guessed why they were going to Cyril. Mom, I'm going out with Dad. Okay, come back soon, Jin said with a smile. Salama, let's go. After receiving the 500 order from Kahn, Salama waved his hand lightly, and another 7-color space vortex emerged out of thin air. Then, under the gaze of Vados and others, Kahn, Burdock, and Salama disappeared into the space vortex. Cyril Star. More than 40 years ago, this was the planet of the Cyrillic people, but today the Cyrillic planet is inhabited by the Hugo people. After Cyan invaded Cyril Star and slaughtered the Aborigines here, Cyril Star was taken over by Sita and sold to the Zoo people at a high price through transformation, but Monet and Granola, who survived back then, still live on Cyril. It's just that they live in the mountains, and they don't interfere with the huge people who live in the city cemetery. Above Monet's small house, a space vortex appeared. The 3 of Kahn then appeared. Burdock glanced at the city not far away that was shrouded in an energy barrier, and said with emotion, this planet has been transformed, and it must be sold to other people at a high price. Yes, the people living here should be a race called Hugo. Kahn nodded. Come on, let's go to Moon's house. Falling from the sky, the 3 of Kahn just landed in front of the door of Monet's house. At this time, Monet, who was over 500 years old, was lying in the room watching the TV programs of the Hugo people, killing his old leisure time. Chapter 138. She is the originator of Dragon Ball. Goodbye, Granola. Chapter 138. She is the originator of Dragon Ball. Goodbye, Granola. Kahn, Burdock, and Salama walked into Monet's room together. Regarding the arrival of the 3 uninvited guests, Monet sat upright on the spot and asked, Are you Monet? It's a surprise that you're still alive. Burdock spoke first. Monet was very old more than 40 years ago. But now that more than 40 years have passed, Monet looks only slightly older than before. You are Mr. Burdock. Staring intently at Burdock's face and the cross scar on his face, Manet froze on the spot. He couldn't believe that Burdock was still alive. Monet also heard about the news that Planet Vegeta was hit by a meteorite and Cyan became extinct. So he had long thought that Burdock was supposed to be dead too. But he didn't expect to see the old man again after more than 40 years. Burdock nodded, reassuring Manet's doubts. He was not mistaken. The person in front of him was indeed Burdock. Mr. Burdock, I heard that Planet Vegeta was destroyed by a meteorite impact. What happened? Although it was confirmed that it was Burdock, Monet still raised his own doubts. Meteor strike? Is that how Frieza announced it? Burdock frowned and succinctly described the events of the year and his resurrection. The truth turns out to be like this, but why does Frieza want to exterminate Cyan? Asked Manet. None of that matters anymore. Burdock shook his head, as if he didn't want to bring up the past, and it wasn't really important anymore. Immediately, Burdock introduced Kahn to Monet. Monet stood up, shook hands with Kahn, and said with a modest smile, "Hi, Mr. Kahn, my name is Monet." Kahn nodded. It was acceptable. Then Monet asked, "Mr. Kahn, how did you revive Burdock? Did you use the Dragon Ball of other Nanks?" Shenron Trombo only has 2 Dragon Balls, and 1 planet has always been in his hands, so Monet guessed that Kahn should be Burdock resurrected with Dragon Balls created by other Nanks. No, I'm using the Super Dragon Ball. Kahn shook his head. Super Dragon Ball? Monet was taken aback. This was the first time he had heard the name Dragon Ball. Kahn said, "The Shenron summoned by the Super Dragon Ball can fulfill wishes much better than the Dragon Ball created by you Nanks, and the creator of the Super Dragon Ball is Miss Salama beside me. If you really want to come, she is the originator of the Dragon Ball. You Nank people just get inspiration from the Super Dragon Ball, and then create a copycat version." Heard the words. Manet was beyond shocked. Manet's face, full of years and vicissitudes, was full of shock, and he looked at Salama beside Kahn in disbelief. The originator of Dragon Ball turned out to be this beautiful woman who seems to have no ability. At this time, Salama, who had been silent for a long time, also said, "Human beings can learn from the Super Dragon Ball I created to create a smaller version of the Dragon Ball. It seems that you Nanks also have certain talents. High emotional intelligence, a smaller version. Low profile version." Although the Nanks borrowed from the Super Dragon Ball to create a low-profile version of the Dragon Ball, it is enough to show that the Nanks have talents that other races do not have. This is to be appreciated. Monet, how is that child doing now? Instead of fussing over the Dragon Ball, Burdock asked about the Granola. At this time, Monet also came back to his senses. Did you say Granola? Granola is still alive, and he is working for Sita. Speaking of this, Monet also felt quite helpless. He explained, "I have no choice but to do this." If Granola knew the truth back then, he would definitely seek revenge from Sita, and Sita's people would kill him. So, in order to keep Granola alive, I can only hide the truth from him. Yes. Now Granola only knows that Cyan under the Frieza army destroyed his homeland, and he also thinks that his mother Musli was killed by Cyan. So it's Cyan and Frieza that Granola now has a grudge against. In fact, his mother, Musi Lai, was killed by Sita's head, E-Lake. As soon as Monet finished speaking, the corner of Kahn's mouth suddenly twitched playfully and said, "From now on, the truth of the past may not be concealed any longer." What? Monet looked up suddenly, not quite understanding what Kahn meant. Boom! At this moment, there was a sudden noise at the door. Monet looked anxiously at the door, only to see that Granola was already standing at the door at some point, and the money bag he was holding just now had fallen to the ground. Granola's pupils widened, and her rather handsome face was covered with shock and disbelief. Granola came back to her senses. A wave of hatred came to her mind. "Cyan, you are still alive. I will kill you with my own hands." Granola now doesn't care about what the truth was back then, he just wants to kill the two Saiyans in front of him. Granola, calm down first. These two Saiyans don't seem to be hostile. Why don't you listen to your grandpa to talk about the truth back then? Just when Granola was about to make a move, Altmir hurriedly persuaded her. But at this time, Granola's mind has been taken over by hatred, so how could he listen to what Altmir said? Immediately, Granola charged Kahn and Burdock in a rage. Granola, stop. Monet's pupils shrank suddenly. Boom! Granola's punch, which contained endless anger, brought a sound of breaking wind in the air and slammed directly into Kahn's back. At the critical moment, Kahn suddenly turned around. Also at this time, Granola's body froze suddenly. The fist that was about to hit Kahn in the face stopped just like that. He looked at Kahn in horror. The man in front of him obviously didn't do anything, but his body was too scared to move. This is from Liao Nuohao, the fear deep in his soul. This fear made him unable to control his body at all. Nani? At this moment, Granola was beyond shocked. Kahn put his hands on his back, blinked lightly, and said calmly, "My suggestion is, if you don't want to disappear, you might as well calm down and listen to Couchate talk about the past thump." After Kahn's voice fell, Granola's body could no longer bear the pressure and fear from Kahn, and she fell to the ground on the spot. Granola. Monet hurried over to help Granola up, and said guiltily, "Granola, it was Grandpa who concealed the past from you. The Mr. Burdock in front of you is the benefactor who saved you back then, Civil." What? Upon hearing this, Granola was shocked again. His pupils were wide open, and he said in disbelief, "Grandpa, what are you talking about? Isn't Cyan the one who killed my mother?" Chapter 139. You are not mistaken, he is the Burdock back then. Chapter 139. You are not mistaken, he is the Burdock back then. In the house, Granola sat slumped on the chair with a slightly dull expression. After listening to Monet's account of what happened back then, Granola discovered that he had been working under the hands of his mother-killing enemy for decades. But the person who really saved them has been hated by him as an enemy for decades. Monet sighed, "Granola, you should know that the reason why I don't tell you the truth is for your own good. If Granola had known the truth since he was a child, he would never have grown up so peacefully. I'm afraid he was killed by the SETA organization long ago. SETA just saw that Granola was useful, and he didn't know the truth, so he spared his life. I told you to calm down." Altmir also said helplessly. Cemetery. Granola got up suddenly and walked out towards the door with a face full of anger. "See." Monet shouted anxiously, "Granola, where are you going?" "Go to lake and avenge my mother." Granola's voice was deep, like a tiger roaring. "You are going to die. Do you think you can kill 300 lake?" Kahn crossed his arms and said blankly, as if explaining a fact. But there was an unavoidable sense of sarcasm in his tone. "Really? With Granola's current strength, going to seek revenge on Lake is undoubtedly seeking death. Granola, going to Lake like this is no different from sending you to death." Altmir also persuaded earnestly. Granola yelled, "Am I just watching my mother's murderer roam free outside, and I don't do anything? Impulse is nothing." At this moment, Burdock, who had been silent for a long time, spoke. "Father, needless to say, since he wants to seek revenge on Lake, then let him go." Kahn waved his hand. "This person, if you don't work hard in many cases, you don't know how useless you are." Now Granola's mind has been completely taken over by hatred, and he can't listen to anything he says. Kahn knows Granola all too well. Immediately. Just as Kahn expected, Granola walked out of the room quickly without saying anything. 2 days later, Granola drove the universe ship to the Planet of Theta organization. Granola found the 4 of L. Lake with a look of anger on his face. L. Lake was holding a glass of red wine in his hand and jokingly said, "Isn't this Granola? Why did you come back so soon? I gave it to you. Work done?" Granola glared at AI Lake angrily and asked, "AI Lake, did you kill my mother back then?" Heard the words. The four of AI Lake were a little surprised. How did Granola know the truth? But how Granola knew the truth was irrelevant. AI Lake played with taste. I killed it, so you want to seek revenge from me. Laugh. Granola gritted her teeth and immediately moved towards Lake angrily. Lake, give back my mother's life. Facing the attack launched by the angry Granola, AI Lake's face became even more playful. Boom! Just when Granola was about to rush in front of Lake, GSC made a move. Granola was caught off guard and was hit hard by Jas. GSC tilted his head and said coldly, "This is not a place where you can mess around, Granola. If you mess around again, I will kill you." Hey, this kid has been dazzled by hatred. He really is a simple-minded guy. The corner of Maggie's mouth raised, jokingly said. Listening to Maggie's ridicule, coupled with the revenge of killing her mother, Granola can't care about anything now. If he can't kill Lake, what's the point of his life? Immediately, Granola let out a growl and launched another attack. GSC's expression turned serious, and then he faced Granola head-on. Bang, bang, bang. In front of GSC, Granola's strength is simply vulnerable. In just half CJBI minutes, Granola was severely injured by Jas and was unable to recover. Immediately afterwards, Jas clenched his right hand and a trident condensed with Kai instantly formed, ready to give Granola the final fatal blow. Jace, wait a minute. At the critical moment, AI Lake suddenly stopped GSC. GSC was a little dissatisfied and asked, "Why didn't you let me kill him? Do you think he is still a threat to us now? I still have something to ask him, and it won't be too late for you to kill him after I finish asking." Lake said. Hearing this, GSC had no choice but to stop for the time being. AI Lake walked down the stairs with leisurely steps, staring at Granola lying on the ground with a lofty attitude. "Granola, can you tell me who told you the truth back then?" Granola glared at AI Lake angrily. Seeing the playfulness on AI Lake's face, Granola's blood pressure continued to soar. He gritted his teeth tightly, and the veins on his forehead popped out. Hate myself for not being able to kill AI Lake and avenge his mother Musli. Don't tell me. Seeing that Granola didn't speak, AI Lake's face became even more playful. "It doesn't matter if you don't. I know who told you. It was Monet, right?" Hearing this, Granola suddenly felt bad. He growled hysterically, Lake, what are you doing? What do you say, Granola?" AI Lake jokingly said, "Since you already know the truth, you are useless. I will kill you first, and then go to Zilurli to send KH8 to reunite with you talking." Lake drew his pistol from his belt. At this moment, Granola's pupils widened. It doesn't matter if he dies. He doesn't want his grandfather Monet who raised him to die at the hands of Lake. Reunion? I don't need to bother you. Now UNG can be reunited with Granola. Just when AI Lake was about to kill Granola, a voice that was calm but filled with the aura of a king came from the door. Lake et al. Looked up. I saw 4 people walking slowly. It's Kahn, Burdock, Salama, and Monet. Oh, Menet, and AI Lake glanced away, and a familiar face came into view. If I'm not mistaken, you're Burdock. How is it possible? Maggie said incredulously. Didn't Burdock die that year? How could he be alive? Menet leaned on his crutches and said, "You read that right. He is the Burdock of those days." After all, AI Lake is the boss of the SETA organization, and he is also someone who has seen the world. He calmed down quickly, "Although I don't know what method you used, but you're resurrected, Burdock." Then, Lake's eyes fell on Kahn and Salama. "Who are you?" Kahn pretended to think for a while, and then said, "If you want to ask who we are, then I can only tell you that we are the people who came to make you go to hell." All right, legends, that's it for today. If you're ready for the next chapter, smash that like button and flood the comments right now. Remember, we've got 3 days to prove this story needs to continue. Subscribe so you don't miss the drop, and I'll meet you in the next audiobook.